I think Jackson only looks good because the quality of striker in the Premier League has gone down, but okay.
What does that even mean?
The quality of nines in the Premier League has went
because
down.
he's outperforming all the other strikers.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
The other strikers aren't performing.
Wow. I'm telling you, 1 + 1 = 2.
Because
Two players came together. You just said it.
That one was more of a PK.
How is it more of a PK if the guy was on the way down?
the lick literally just kicked
You
him.
guys are telling me this. You guys are telling me this. PGOML come out and say that was a wrong decision that we
Delict
made.
attempted attack, like a kind of attack.
He didn't attempt to attack him.
He stabbed though. He stabbed.
He's like giving all these instructions
To Xerxes, and he's going like this. I'm like, brother, he is not that guy. Like, he is not this guy. Whatever you're telling him.
Welcome back to another episode here on the Half Turn. I hope you guys are all doing well. We are back here with after the international break. I'm Guillermo.
It's Lawa and the cut.
DR.
So yeah, we're back here after the international break. Game week 12, clash of the week, City versus Tottenham. We're also talking some big six with Liverpool's, United, Chelsea.
Well, I wouldn't put us in big
Arsenal.
six. That's quite a
Yeah, of
bold
course.
take.
And then, of course, Arsenal, right?
Some Arsenal.
Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and commenting and subscribing, okay? We are on all platforms pretty much, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook at HalfTurnPod. But especially here on YouTube, right? Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell that lets you know right when we post. We do some good bit of shorts posting throughout the week, but definitely Tuesdays is our weekly roundups. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, shall we get started with the clash of the week, City versus Spurs?
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
get it.
At the Etihad. So obviously, big thrashing, right? 4-0 City.
I don't know what
versus
city's
Spurs.
been on.
There's one club in Manchester that's in crisis and is not Manchester United.
You think they're in a worse position than Man United?
Dude, they're in bad shape. You have to go back to like 1940, 50 if you want to find a team that won the championship and then win and lost 5 on the bounce. Here's the dog. Here's the dog.
What up, Cookie?
Charging in here.
Yo, featuring.
That's making the cut. That's making the
definitely
cut.
Sorry about that, guys. Had a dog walking in, right? Cookie.
Sorry, guys. I thought I had the door closed.
It's okay. You might make the cut here. Featuring Cookie. Featuring Cookie this week. All right, so back to City and Spurs. 4-0, right, at the Etihad. Big thrashing. Ange got it right. Right, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of ups and downs with him, but he got it right this week. They showed out. Madison, beast performance. Just all around a really good day for Spurs and a really bad day for Pep and
Yeah.
City.
They have a lot of good days against Man City.
I know.
They do.
They're having the most random season, really. Like they're not picking up the points where you expect them to, and then every single hard game they've just come out 3-0, 4-0,
Yeah.
nail it every single time.
They bottle it. Like, that's Spurs, man.
So random.
They do things that they're not, like, they win the games they're not supposed to, and then they lose the games that they're supposed to
so
win.
strange, really.
So, I mean, there's a good bit of talking points. We can talk about the goal scorers. It was Madison with 2 goals. Birthday boy. Porro with a goal. And then there was one more scorer that I'm trying to figure out. Oh, Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson,
Yeah,
last
Brennan
goal.
Johnson came in at the end, minute 94. So, I mean, what were your guys' initial thoughts on the game after seeing all of that? What did you like most, right? Did you like
I didn't expect City to lose 4-0 at home. I don't think they've ever lost more than 2 goals at home with Pep Guardiola.
They're looking bad, man.
Yeah,
like
it's looking really scary for
Leading
them.
up to it, I was so convinced they were going to get the win. You had the new contract extension from
Right.
Pep. You had Ballon d'Or Rodri presentation before the game. It was
Yeah,
all
I
built
saw
up
that.
for them to win today, and
Yeah.
they weren't able to do it.
No, dude, and like even from the beginning of the game, like I'll be honest, I started tuning into the game minute 30, and it was already 2-0 down.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
20 minutes
2-0
was already
down.
2-0.
Yeah, so I mean, I missed
Huge
that
mistake.
really nasty goal from Madison with the chip,
Right.
and all that. But
Honestly, all the goals were
What a
quality.
yeah, they were quality goals.
I was comparing it to like, when you're in the flow when you're playing FIFA.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter who's coming up next. It's
connecting
just,
really
you're seeing
nice.
it. Yeah,
Son was getting passes that he
Sharp.
shouldn't have gone off.
That-
literally.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
Kulusevski ball. in
That
the
goal,
dugout.
that assist by Kulusevski, the over Stones.
Impressive.
Kyle
Yeah.
Walker.
Very
What a
impressive.
ball.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. And Madison doing
What a
really
run
well.
from Madison.
They
as
deserve
well.
the praise. Like, yeah, we could say Man City haven't been at the races this season, but man, you got to give credit to them on the day. They
Right.
completely shut them
They
out.
did. That's one of the things like the commentator was saying. It's like, you know, with Ange, he goes for it, right? That's the thing that they like. He goes for it.
I respect
Sometimes
that.
it's gonna go really bad, you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
sometimes it's gonna go really
He has
good.
only a plan A, and to an extent, I respect it. But again, sometimes you can point to it and be like, that was naive.
Of
I point to
course.
the Chelsea game,
Yeah.
playing a high line with 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 9 men.
Yeah, no plan B.
Yeah, no plan B realistically, but
Nah,
you know, I appreciate that he sticks to his guns,
Right.
and
And I,
this is my philosophy. We're gonna go for it.
I appreciate him beating Pep.
Me too. I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna complain.
They always
realistically.
seem to do good with that midfield they went out against City. The
Yeah.
Basuma,
Mm-hmm.
Pop Sar, and Madison. That
It's good
trio right
midfield,
there is
yeah.
probably their best options in the midfield.
Yeah.
Every time they
Basuma-
have that three, they look really good with
You know,
it.
it's weird. Like I think about Spurs, and I don't think they have great squad depth off the top of my head. But then you name those three midfielders, quality.
Yeah.
Quality.
Then you have Bentancur too, because
Right.
I rate
Right.
Bentancur.
But
personally.
he's on 7-game suspension.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
it's-
mixed feelings about that.
What is it? What is that?
So he got a suspension from the English FA. It was kind of like a throwaway comment in some interview.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
He was
Oh,
mentioning
now I
a
remember
South,
that.
like an Asian person, a
He
South
said
Korean.
one of the fans asked him to give this shirt to Son to tell him
Yeah.
to sign it for me, and he was like, "You guys all look the same," or it's
Something
I
like
don't-
that. It was a very like throwaway comment.
Right.
It didn't seem like anything malicious, but
Right.
it's weird the double standard.
I
point
guess
to
he got
Enzo.
offended.
The whole
Right.
Enzo situation,
Yeah.
you saw no backlash come out
Yeah.
of that, and then
Yeah.
You think that he got offended that a fan is
Son?
asking him
Nah.
to go get this shirt signed by Son? Like,
Yeah.
go give it to him and sign
Nah,
it.
it
for
didn't.
me.
It really didn't seem like that at all. It was very like playful. It was kind of just
Oh, really?
nothing crazy, realistically.
Seven
that's what it
game
felt
suspension
like.
though.
7
and
games, big. That's a huge suspension.
That's like
When you compare it to
Wow.
that Enzo situation,
that's 2 months.
Suarez got an 8-match suspension for biting somebody.
Yeah.
Biting Patrice Ever. He got
Right.
a. Or,
That's worse.
Ivanovic. Sorry. He ended up getting
yeah,
an
yeah,
8-match
yeah, yeah.
suspension for that, and this 7-match suspension for this. I don't know.
7
It's weird.
matches is crazy.
And I feel like somebody like Son really didn't even care about it to the same degree. I mean, they mentioned it. Like, we got
Yeah,
back in the dressing room.
yeah.
He apologized
Yeah.
sincerely.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I'm just thinking like off the top of my head, like that's another quality option that they do have in that.
And they were using Kulusevski as center mid for a couple of games, and he balled out.
That's what
He went
that's what he was
crazy.
doing in this game. He's
Good
kind of
shout.
coming in a
Yeah.
little bit, dude. He's nasty.
Yeah.
His on the ball movement and just like how he's able to keep the ball while moving is nasty.
It's nasty.
He was
Like-
exciting when he came in and then dropped off. It kind of became stale and repetitive.
Yeah, but then he was still the season after that. He was pretty consistent.
Yeah, yeah.
He was on and off. At the
ever
end.
since he's been given that license to kind of come inside, and he's looking free, is how I would
Yeah,
say. Like he's
yeah.
able to roam a little bit more. You see it with like Saka all the time at Arsenal, but
Yeah.
he's getting on the
his
ball,
dribble,
he's making
his
things happen.
technicality picks up for
Big
a lot
guy
of.
too. Like he
Yeah.
can hold off a defender at the very
that's
least.
nice. That works for them because usually he's so far from Son, he's not able to link with him.
Right.
And
Right.
Solanke's not really a good link-up player.
Yeah.
You know? So
Although I thought
him
today-
getting in, that's how they scored like 2 or 3 of their goals.
Spurs against City. I thought Solanke had a good game
He
too.
did,
He
he
had
did.
a proper
He had a really
striker's
good game.
performance. Ended
Yeah.
it with a goal. Did he get a goal?
Super
No,
unselfish.
he just got an assist.
No,
Assist,
that's
assist.
right. Yeah.
Still,
that
he
poor
good, though.
goal.
He played a
Quality.
good hold-up striker position. He played his role.
I like it.
I like how he
Came in with a lot of
executed.
stick too. You know, big money signing coming from Bournemouth. Had a really good season last year.
Yeah.
Coming in
I mean,
with a lot of
anybody
pressure.
coming into
Celebrations,
Spurs
too.
playing striker, there's big shoes to fill up. You
That's
know?
Huge.
true.
So,
That's true.
Yes, absolutely.
I had faith in Richarlison, then he became injury prone.
Yeah.
Richarlison's heck of a player,
He
to be
is,
honest. Like
he is.
he came the Richarlison that came off from Everton. That he was pretty
I
good.
liked him.
He was-
I always liked him. Sorry.
Yeah, he was-
He's a hard player to like get stable.
Yeah,
you know,
or
but I
get
feel like if he's
consistent.
stable and like on that grind mentality, he'd be nasty.
I think them playing him as striker was not it.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a left winger. I think about Richarlison
I think
like
it
a
made
second
sense.
striker.
I think it made sense in the beginning. You know, like Harry Kane gone, you need a proven striker. Like that's how
Yeah.
your team functions.
Yeah.
it kind of made sense, but Richarlison's not an established like disciplined type of player.
Yeah, I think you put
so
that
that's
very well.
that's where it kind of goes wrong. Whereas honestly, Solanke's looking kind of the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have those big moments or like come clutch. But he's going to be disciplined, consistent. You know?
The few games that I have catched from Spurs, whether he's scoring or not, I feel like he's still coming off the pitch with a good performance.
Exactly.
Right.
Some strikers, if they're not scoring, you can't say that they had a
Yeah.
good performance.
He looks a bit different with Spurs though. It's like it's not the same player that was with Bournemouth.
big
Because
time. Yeah, big time.
with Bournemouth, I saw him a lot more on the ball, dribbling
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
I don't see
That
that dribbling
run.
from him anymore. And
Yeah.
he
It's
looks
almost like
he has
being
Son.
being
Yeah.
being the best player on a team is one thing, and then you
Yeah.
come in with quality players around you.
Yeah.
Now it's like, can we build that chemistry?
Yeah.
Automatically, when that signing
Figuring out your
happened,
role.
when that happened immediately, I was like, wow, he's gonna have a good time with James
Yeah,
Madison.
he will.
Yeah.
Or like somebody like Son, for example. Now Kulusevski,
He looks
Brandon
heavy-footed now, though. He didn't look like that with burning out. Like he looks like he's having a hard time dribbling the ball. But
Yeah.
usually he would dribble in the box. He was really good.
Which
in
is
the
natural
box.
though, because playing with a bigger team, you're gonna have more of the ball.
Yeah.
You're gonna be less a counter-attacking team. You do have to change your style
More
up as a
defense,
I
striker.
think they're using him
Probably.
differently. They're trying to use him just like a hold-up finishing striker.
Yeah.
That's
I think
it.
that really, yeah.
And
that
he's
comes
done
into it
well.
for
He's
sure.
a Chelsea lad, isn't he?
He's Chelsea
He played for
lad.
Liverpool,
Liverpool
as well.
too.
Wow,
Really?
that's funny.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
plays
know
for
that.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
He scored 4 goals and left.
to get to City, right? Spurs
Ooh.
Spurs had a hell of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
game.
it's good to shout
But
them out for what they did.
To get to City, right? I mean, I was talking to you guys a little bit about it before. I was talking to you guys a little bit before, right? They just like in the whole game, they never seemed to find a solution. There was maybe 1 or 2 chances.
They had
literally,
chances,
after a
though.
minute,
Early,
after-
too.
But those were all like half chances. They
Not
weren't
really.
great.
Holland had a couple of clear
The
shots
first
off the goal.
15,
He did,
20
he
minutes,
did.
Vicario pulls out a big save. Holland
Yeah.
probably should be doing better.
Yeah.
I mean, if we consider him to be the elite level
Right.
striker
Right.
that he is,
Yeah.
bro, you got to bury those chances,
You gotta bury
especially
them.
if you're in a difficult
And
moment.
he
your
had
team's looking for
multiple
you.
chances.
He
Yeah,
did.
that's
He did.
one.
He had like 2 or 3 like 1v1. Like,
So I
just him
feel
and
like
the
if
keeper.
they put one behind the line the first half, there would have been way
You
more of
think
an
it's just
entertaining
like
game.
like that game that the ball just not gonna go in?
Yeah, it was like they couldn't put it behind the net. So like,
I'm
You
just
said it.
I'm getting at because it just feels like this is what I keep seeing from them.
Yeah.
They hit that barrier and they don't seem to be able to go over.
No, you
at
said
all.
it. They're finding it difficult to find solutions.
Yeah.
Naturally, when they had the opportunities in the years past, you have the cutbacks. City were really good, for example, when they didn't have a striker.
right.
Now it's almost like they've become too gun-ho and reliant on somebody like Holland, where it's like now everybody else isn't chipping in the same degree.
Well, they seem
what
to-
is a Savino, by the way?
Yeah.
He had a good game.
He had a good game.
This
today.
guy has come into with all this hype and he has
Yeah.
yet to score a goal. Forget 007.
I
He's
think
like
he has.
010 at this
Bro,
point.
in
He
City,
has scored
like,
a goal.
Not in the Prem.
I think he has.
Like in the Prem, realistically,
He's-
who's scoring goals for
The
Man
thing
City
is,
if it's not Erling Haaland?
he's playing that wide position. So, for example, like a reason why he plays well today is because he's able to come inside and
Yeah.
actually get active there.
Yeah.
But like most of the games, he's just playing as a winger. For
He was
Pep.
playing as a
You know what I
left
mean?
winger,
He
though.
he's Pep's has had him.
He's
as
pepified
a robot.
him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he
Pepified.
hasn't been able to be super effective.
Nah.
But he had a good game. Honestly,
he will click.
if anything, we should be flaming Holland.
Yeah.
Because what is that? You have
Where?
3
He
shots
had-
on goal. If that's Nicholas Jackson,
What about that open shot he had? He decided not to shoot and dribble. That he should have buried that.
When was that? With us?
He was on the right side. He received the ball with his weak foot.
Yeah.
You remember he had time to shoot? And you
Then
remember
he
you were like, Jackson would have buried that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
He had so much time. As a striker, as clinical as Holland, you should be putting those away, honestly.
You can see he's very frustrated. Ever since the
Yeah.
stay humble, he's
Ever
been
since the
finding
stay
it
humble.
difficult to be
really?
fair.
Yeah.
It's literally after that Arsenal
Literally
game.
right
Genuinely,
after that.
genuinely.
Everything went downhill.
It goes to show that you can have like in a sense like pride, right, and all that stuff, but you have to have respect.
I will say, like, I don't credit Holland much for his out of the box play. I thought some of it was pretty good though today. There was
Yeah.
one opportunity in particular where they broke lines on 2 passes, played the drop ball. Holland then came across for that cutback. I think it was a Savino cross. That was proper link-up play from him.
Yeah.
And I don't really attribute that to him.
Right.
I don't think he suits Man City's style.
He doesn't at all.
He's a transition player,
Yes.
like to the nth degree.
Yes, like Dortmund, like he
Yes,
thrives. In
absolutely.
That.
He
So
lo-
in
that is his
Liverpool, he
environment.
would be absolutely nuts.
Genuinely,
Like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
he'll eat. He'll eat at
Pace,
Liverpool.
power. He
Imagine
eats the
him next to
ground.
Salah.
Yeah.
That would be nasty.
That's too big of egos.
The
Maybe.
thing is, this shows the quality of the players when they're present, how much it affects the team. Not just Rodri, I think even De Bruyne. Like
Even De Bruyne.
having
He
De
looks-
Bruyne informed, like injury free, you just going in there like he's one of those players. You go in there, you're one up. You know what I'm talking
For
about?
sure.
Yeah.
And not having his quality is a big loss for Man
And-
City, and I feel like they can't perform. I don't think Foden plays that role well at all. At the 10 role,
Nobody has.
Julian Alvarez was the last player that played that role well.
That's a really good shout, to be
Yeah.
fair. I
Yeah,
think
it
a
is.
lot of City's mistakes stem from the summer. Who did they bring in this summer? They brought Ilkay Gundogan back.
And Savini.
Doku.
Savinho. No, Doku's the
Doku
year
was that
prior.
last year.
That's
I
it.
can't think of anything else that they brought in.
yeah.
Now that they've been hit with these injury problems, You said it beautifully. They can't find solutions.
They're not finding him.
I love Bernardo Silva. I think he's a really good player, right? But
Yeah.
he is not going to be giving you the same level of chance creation quality
Right.
as Kevin De Bruyne.
No.
No.
And Phil Foden has just decided not to turn up. This is the PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Absolutely
He's been
stinking the place
Timo
out.
Werner has more goal contributions than
That's
he
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Crazy.
Genuinely. He'll play terribly at Cam, then he'll be like, oh no, he's a right winger.
Yeah.
Then he'll play
Yeah.
terribly as a right winger. No, he's a left winger, bro. Actually, he might even be a false nine.
I think that's a good point too, because for example, I think if you give these players a role and it's established that that's your role, they're able to grow more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but with Pep moving so many things around all the time, wanting every player to be able to do everything, like that kind of limits your game.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that's like that practicing 1,000 things once or 5 times rather than practicing one thing 1,000 times.
Exactly.
You know, that
Yeah.
really does come into play. And I don't know. I think that because, like we mentioned, Bernardo Silva is a creative player. You know, he can do it anything.
Yeah.
Literally, he can play any position. But since it feels like he doesn't even know really how much he's able to be effective on the pitch anymore.
And at the same time, like, guys.
To get to my point, sorry. You remember when he started coming down and receiving the ball and then playing?
On the half turn?
Yeah, and he kept doing that all the time.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the best Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, now
I
he just
agree.
plays wide.
Before that, he was playing on the right wing, playing beautifully.
Right.
Now, I feel like he doesn't know if he's going to be playing 8, 10. You know what
A
I'm
part
saying?
of it for somebody like Bernardo Silva and maybe even guys like Gundogan, fatigue.
And it's years, exactly.
Fatigue.
And it's years.
Treble
exactly.
after that treble winning season and then to go again,
Yeah.
it's difficult because
Yeah.
you're playing every single game.
For sure.
Remember, during that time, Kevin De Bruyne was in and out as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Made of glass. But
Right.
Bernardo Silva was filling those shoes more
Yeah.
often than not. And
Yeah.
he performs genuinely,
Yeah.
but you could tell he looks tired and fatigued.
Another absence, Diaz, right? I mean,
Yeah,
gotta
he's been
mention
absent.
him. I mean, we all know how I feel about
Wasn't he?
Diaz, but
Didn't he
he's a
go to
big
the
mess.
national break?
No,
I'm
he's
not
injured.
sure,
I think he's been
honestly.
injured for a little bit too.
Yeah, I think he had a big injury sometime.
Stones is just now coming back. I think
Right.
even Akanji was touch and go.
He got dunked on today.
Yeah, he got
honestly.
dunked on. Like for him to have that ball go over his head so nonchalantly.
Great ball though. You can't
Yeah.
deny that.
But
Good
the thing
finish.
is Man City in the past have never looked this defensively
No,
vulnerable.
it's bad.
We always
They
talk
look
about
bad
how
right
good
now.
they
I was
are.
thinking about that. How is Pep gonna go 3 seasons with only 1 CDM?
It's genuinely
I mean?
wild. Like more credit to Rodri. More day by day, it looks more and more likely that you should have got that Ballon d'Or for a
Right.
reason.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you have to have other solutions in your squad.
Yeah.
And those guys that are playing in the midfield, they're easily susceptible to a counterattack. And you're seeing that left, right, and
Kyle
center.
Walker is
I can't see any-
getting rinsed now. left and
Genuinely,
right.
like, has
Yeah.
been horrible.
He's
If
getting
Trent's putting in
rinsed
those
left and right.
performances, and I'm not an advocate for Trent, they're putting it on
Yeah.
billboards.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, Garvardio, right? If that goes to my point again. If you're playing Garvardio at center back and just center back, that dude's doing crazy things.
I agree.
Same thing. If you're just playing him at left back and just left back,
Yeah.
he's doing crazy things. But if you're switching him in and around, dude, he's not able to up his game.
Yeah, you can't
Right.
build something.
And that's
long
somebody
term.
who got
Yeah.
dunked on today a
Right.
couple of times. You know, so it goes to show that it's not just the players. You know, like Pep is getting it wrong right now.
I
He
agree.
is.
And it's not. I don't think it's just the injuries that are messing him up. I mean, I want to flame them in a sense because you're telling me without 2-3 players, you're that bad.
I mean,
thought
look
you had
at-
the best
look
squad
at
in the world.
Spurs. Look
I
at
thought you had the
Spurs.
best squad in the world.
Spurs didn't have either one of their starting center back too. In fact, they played a
Yeah.
left back as a center back.
Right.
On top of that,
We played a center back at right back.
kept
this
a clean
weekend.
sheet, right? And it's like if you are the best team in the world, you should still be able to find solutions within your squad.
Yes, and not be getting dunked on 4-0 at home.
Bro, I remember during the time when guys like Sané, guys like Sterling would show up at City,
Mm-hmm.
and people would be like, "Oh my God, Pep Guardiola makes players so much better." Where
does.
is that? Where is
Yeah.
that? Where is
Right.
Matthias Nunes? What,
Dude, it's so. I mean, the way they play now, it's so robotic. Like you can literally see everything they're gonna do. There's
Yeah.
only a few passes when they thread.
I
the
hate
needle
how
here
they
and
keep
there.
possession around the
Yes,
18.
They literally just do.
I
that.
don't
That's
like
all
that.
they do.
It's kind of frustrating watching that.
Yeah, it's boring in a sense. Like it, and with Holland being trash now, it's even more boring. You know,
Yeah,
like you don't
'cause
get
he-
that magical like moment.
He's not the stale player. He's just on a go counter player.
Yeah.
And even their wingers, like if you want to get the best out of Jack Grealish
Mm-hmm.
or like Savinho, or if you play Bernardo Silva there,
Yeah,
I mean I don't know. I don't see somebody being threatening like Jack Grealish when they're playing around the box. Yeah, he's good
Right,
at dribbling the ball
right.
in, but he's more effective on the go. I feel like.
right. Transitional players. These are
Yeah.
all players that were really good in the transition. Jack Grealish came onto the game. He made some things happen because he's a smart player.
Yeah, but he did make the big mistake to cause a goal.
He's not good. But he's not good enough. Like
he's coming back from injury.
How you're playing him, you're not gonna get the.
But
best
I'm supposed to
out of him.
believe that Pep improves players, bro. Get out of here, man.
A couple
Having a bad
shout-outs.
spell.
Sorry.
A really bad spell, dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's not underestimate 5 games on the bounce is ridiculous.
It's really bad.
Genuinely, we come back at the end of the season and you guys don't win it. I'm flaming.
Yeah.
It's-
On camera live.
It's too
it's
early
more
right
likely
now.
that
Bro, 8 points at this stage to this Man City team.
in
barely
2000,
you
have to do
in
it.
2020 there was that 8-point. There was an
Yeah.
8-point gap.
Exactly.
There was an 8-point gap.
Talk to me about that Man City team.
That was a different Man City, but
Yeah.
that was a Man City team without Haaland.
Fair play still, but that was a better drilled and organized Man City team.
You could they were more motivated probably. I
Of
don't know
course,
about more
it's
well drilled.
motivated,
you know,
yeah.
because these are 4-time champs.
Yeah,
Like, these
I
are-
understand.
you know what
I understand, but even that team during that time, was that their second on the bounce? That
Yeah.
was what they were
Right.
looking to go for on the second
Yeah.
bounce, and for them to climb back from an 8-point lead is nothing to be underestimated, considering how good that Liverpool team was on top, right? But that's not
Right.
the same Man City that we're talking
Can't
about.
it's
predict
not,
the
Not at
injuries.
all. And this
Yeah.
isn't the same Liverpool team. Like if that was
No.
that Liverpool team, there'd probably be more points. I don't know. You guys are,
No,
But
it's
nah, at this
not.
you guys are
point,
going crazy.
at
but
this point, it's you guys. Have
it's
to
yours
get
to
it
lose
done.
at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
It's too early to make those type of
It-
decisions.
I think
it
it's
is,
it's
but-
done.
But you have an 8. But like again, don't
Really,
underestimate,
Arsenal
that's
might be the
8
one.
Points.
Yeah, that's
Right now
a
you
lot
have
of
8 points, dude. Like
What has been the difference between first and second in the last few years?
Just like, well, it depends. Man City, sometimes they go by like, at the end of the season, by like 8, 9 points.
Yeah, but last few seasons when
It's
they're
been
competing with
close.
Arsenal,
It's been
Liverpool,
like
like
1, 2.
2 games.
3,
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
max points.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Even
You just need to keep trotting on, and we'll touch on it a little bit later. But you guys are pulling cats out of the bag all the time. now.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
feeling that energy.
sorry, go ahead.
Well, are you still on the City and
So
Spurs?
I wanna give a quick shout outs that I don't want to forget just because I think they deserve it. Poro had a great game. I think he deserves respect. Timo had a really good cameo just coming in and finishing that. Like had that good run against Kyle Walker. Vicario, beast.
Top
Absolute
player.
beast.
Genuinely up there with one of
Yeah.
the best goalkeepers
Yeah,
in the world.
literally.
He's coming into that
Yeah,
fold for me.
he
I
is,
think
he
he's
is.
quality.
I don't know if he's like he should be better than Spurs.
Yeah.
Dragosin, the center back, he had a good game today.
Yeah.
He really stepped up.
He had a good
He hasn't
game.
had much time playing, too.
Sar, you should have seen how many times Sar bullied Lewis today. That was funny. And then Kulusevski, freaking beast. He has
What a
8
beast.
goals and assists in 8 games against City.
Wow.
So
Wow.
and it's 3 goals in the Prem and 3 assists in the Prem. So 6 games he has that.
We play Spurs in the Carabao Cup semifinal. Or is it
Really?
quarterfinal? Quarter
I
or
was gonna say
semifinal?
semi-
This is the
that's-
second time
that's crazy.
Spurs beat City this season.
Yeah,
They
that's-
knocked
Yeah.
them out of the.
I feel like they always have their number. I mean,
said-
last season was the first time. Remember when Son missed that chance?
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah.
saw
Arsenal winning
I
the
saw Spurs page tweeted they were like, we own Manchester, and they put the City and United score.
No
I was
way.
like, yo, this has to be legendary. Okay.
They beat you already this season, right?
Yeah, that was probably the worst game. That was the game where I was like, yeah, maybe Ten Hag ain't the guy.
What is it, 3-1 that game?
3-0. That was the
Wow.
Bruno red card too.
They're 7-0
remember.
against Manchester.
Wow, it's crazy.
Okay, so I guess this is a good point to go to Southampton versus Liverpool.
Oh, or not?
Scoreline was 2-3 with Salah scoring a brace, another comeback win, and then also Szoboszlai had that first goal. Right,
Beautiful
so
goal.
I just wanted to ask you, just in terms of the game, what you thought of it, the lineup, any surprises there, and yeah, what was your overall take on the game?
The lineup, first of all, kind of was a little bit different. No Trent. We
Right.
had Connor Bradley in
Yeah.
there.
What injury does he have, by the way, Trent?
But this, I don't know. It's unknown. I haven't looked into it, but he should be back soon. But yeah, and then our midfield, we played with Curtis Jones in there, Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that combo yet.
So that's what I wanted to ask, because
And
I know you guys
Gravenberch.
switched that a lot. What is his seeming like when he's choosing the midfield? Like, what is?
It's every time. It depends on the. I feel like every game he has a different plan, and he just depending on the plan he has
chooses-
that game.
Right.
He starts the midfielders.
Right. So does he like, so for example, for games that he thinks you're going to hold on to the ball more, who are your midfielders?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then
I know.
for the ones that you're more likely to be defensive, who are your midfielders?
That's true.
Because that's what
Well, this
I'm
time
kinda
he played a 4-3-3.
Okay.
He didn't go with the usual 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. I feel like he was more attacking. He wanted to score goals today, and
Which is understandable. You're playing against
I think
Southampton.
that was the reason it caused us goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because Liverpool, if we played like the way Slot had been playing
Right.
early on the season,
More
with
managing.
more defensive.
You're more managing of the
Yeah,
game.
I don't think we let 2 goals in against
Right.
Southampton.
Overall, a really hectic game, though.
Yeah,
It's got to be
that's
said.
what I'm saying. A little bit
Southampton,
unfamiliar.
no credit's taken away from them. They played
They
amazing.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
They executed that well.
They shot themselves in the foot, right?
Yes.
Like, I was telling you guys, I was really annoyed because,
Their
first off,
goalkeeper.
I saw that you guys were down, and then I was like, let's go, you know. And then, like the goal. Well, I saw you guys start pushing for that goal, and that was scary.
Right.
That I love that about Liverpool. How scary you guys are when you're pushing for a goal.
It
I wanted to
shows.
ask you about that. It
Yeah.
shows like it's
you
like
know something
you
is about to happen.
feel it, like you
Yeah.
see it. It's like it's actually crazy. I don't see many teams have that.
Yeah, they just put it. They when they need to shoot, they shoot.
Dude,
they go shoot.
Salah, like you can see it in his face.
Yeah, like he puts up good shots, even though like they don't go in, but they still threaten. Like
Yeah.
the more you have, the more chances you create, you have the more
likely it is to
goals.
score.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but we had Nunez, Gakpo, and Mo Salah up top. I don't like Gakpo on that left side, honestly.
No.
I
But
was gonna say.
it's been a repetitive thing that's been happening.
Right.
Every time they come back from international break, he doesn't seem to start Diaz and McAllister, which I understand.
Oh, I mean they're coming from South
Yeah,
America.
so that might play a big part in it. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
Right.
but yeah.
What do you think it is in Gakpo? Because I feel like he's got a favoring to Gakpo. I don't know if it's to
does. He
rile
likes
Luis
him.
Diaz
He
up
likes
to
him.
No, he
perform
doesn't.
more.
He likes him.
He likes.
What is it though?
Gakpo
Like,
a
what
lot.
do you think it is that really pushes him
Yeah, like,
towards
why does
giving
he-
him more time than Diaz?
It's his professionalism. Like Gakpo always shows up. He's always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's those type of players that he has good character. He's really professional.
Yeah, yeah.
He's more
Positive
willing
guy.
to do the right thing.
And he probably like talks to him. He understands him better in a way.
Right.
Like they're both Dutch,
both Dutch.
same nationality.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like he's literally helping Gakpo develop, and maybe he's looking at Gakpo as his future left winger than Luis Diaz, because Luis Diaz is his contract is running out next season. And
Really?
yeah, so I don't know. And there was rumors about him leaving this summer
Wow.
to PSG or Barcelona. And there is rumors about Luis Diaz leaving to Barcelona.
You guys should
'Cause that's
not
his favorite
lose him.
club.
You guys should not lose him.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, you
but
should
he's
not lose
he's
him.
the primary starter for the left wing though.
Right, right.
But he puts Gakpo in. I feel like against Southampton, I don't mind Gakpo starting.
Yeah.
You know, give
Yeah.
him.
Give time back to Luis Diaz. Let him get his fitness.
But he's
Jet
been
lag
giving him,
probably.
Yeah, he's been giving Gakpo a lot of playing time.
I see that. Yeah, yeah, and I agree with you. I think that Luis Diaz is an outstanding player.
Yeah, he's hectic.
Considering ever since he came into the Premier League, he's hit the ground running and felt
He's
like a
awesome.
little bit off a little, but now he's back on his feet and he's running hard.
He's really good at taking advantage of the hectic times of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It's
such
crazy
a Liverpool
because
player.
Yeah.
you know how the Prem is like it's a hectic league. You need the right
Fast.
physicality.
Yeah.
And he just came in and adapted well.
Yeah.
It's like he was made
South
for
American, bro. I'm telling
It
you, all
didn't
these
take
South
time for
Americans,
him.
you see it now. Now they're everywhere. Literally,
Yeah.
like Caicedo, McAllister.
that. I love that.
Diaz,
like
I love
McAllister,
it
yeah,
too.
they come in right away. They get comfortable. Where other players, they get like, oh, he's new.
Yeah,
Let him adapt to the Prem. But then these South Americans come in. It's like they've been there
Yeah,
before. You know,
they just want to go.
It's their
bro.
aggression. I think.
I love it because they
Yeah.
just want to go. That's what I was talking about Enzo. Like they just want to go.
They're just
and
ready
play.
to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's not always been like that. Like back in the day, it was very
Yeah.
difficult for South American players to acclimatize to the
Yeah.
league.
Exactly.
I think technique.
That's
probably
true.
technique.
Like even think, yeah, definitely.
Because
Because
technique in Europe is always top.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
in South America, it's more like pace and power.
yeah, it's
aggression.
rugged. It's
It's like who wants it more.
Yeah.
Who's willing to like sacrifice their body more.
No, absolutely, and
Yeah.
part of that plays into the Premier League. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah,
It's
for
the
sure.
technical ability, and you see it a lot now more with clubs like creating academies there,
Right.
getting people in younger. Even the scouting, getting guys earlier than letting them go out to a Benfica or a Sporting or a Porto in Portugal and then signing them for 80 mil or something like that.
Even like the Brazilian leagues or something.
Big time, absolutely. It's a testament just to the expansion of where the game is going.
Yeah.
Even the environment is coming from South America to England to that weather,
Big change.
Is a big change, and sometimes that aspect of the game can put an effect on a player.
I think that's what it's been a lot of the times in the past.
So that's understandable. Like adapting to a new country, playing in that weather all the time,
Yeah, and even just the culture, like the pressure of the fans and all that stuff. Like, that's a lot
it's not easy, but
it's not.
We got players that they know what they're putting themselves into. So
a lot of them do well, honestly. In, Liverpool. So let's talk about the goals, because I think there's a couple good talking points there. So the first things first. Before any goals were scored, there was a penalty shout.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure which Southampton player, but Konate kind of did a little push on the back.
Penalty.
It doesn't seem super hard, the push, but it does.
Guy's going at full speed, bro.
He does seem to push him, right?
He does.
A little bit.
He's going full speed and he's getting pushed. No intent to play the ball.
And
Red
it's
card,
weird
yellow.
Because I think it's weird because Konate kind of just lets him go. And if he doesn't push him, he's getting to that ball and then putting a cross in or whatever.
That's true.
I
thought that was a penalty. He just kind
of like looked at him and it was like...
I think that was a fair shot for a penalty, but they even looked at the VAR and then they said the guy, the attacker flopped supposedly.
Yeah, like took a...
Because you're slowing it down on VAR and it looks like the guy's flopping. No, he's moving at full speed.
The
and
guy
then
he's trying to win the penalty,
He is trying to
Of course he's winning the penalty, but again, he's going at full speed, looking to get that ball to the ball line, cut it back for an easy tap in.
Yeah.
But if you get any slight push, like if you're running max speed and I barely push you, it doesn't.
You're off balance.
In the box, you have to be like.
That was
I
think it's fair to give
fair
that
shout.
penalty.
Absolutely.
I think
we got away with that.
We got away with that one. I mean, Chelsea got away with one today. Probably we'll talk about it here.
I can't relate ever.
But so after that, okay, so they just get a corner off that. Nothing really happens. But then, not quickly after, about 30 minutes, I think minute 30. You guys were attacking pretty well.
We were attacking. We were looking for that goal.
Yeah, you were there,
we were just
pressing hard.
shooting.
And then
making
I
chances.
don't know why McCarthy, the Southampton keeper, who I believe hasn't played a game in a long time, gives the ball to a Southampton player in the box while there are 5 Liverpool players in the box.
Ready to press.
That's
when they were pressing hard.
ready to jump. He gives him the ball. He passes it back. He tries to go to the side. Can't. Passes it back. The guy does a bad clearance, lands on Szoboszlai's foot in front of goal, and he does well to get it off with his weak foot into the top left
curls
corner.
it.
Yeah, good technique.
It irritates me how it's such a forced agenda. Oh, everybody needs to play out of the back.
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
what
way
they're
you have to
trying to
play.
Yeah.
Bro, you're Southampton sitting 20th in the Premier League, bro. Like, hoof the ball up to a big man, knock it on for a flick on to see if you can counter. Why are you trying to force playing out of the back against a team with ruthless aggression in their press?
The best pressing team, probably.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, you literally play into their hand. It's even a miracle that they ended up scoring 2 goals.
I will say they were playing well. Like, when they got it to work, they're playing out the back.
Yeah,
it looked really nice.
They did make it work, though.
Yeah.
Liverpool was playing a really high press game against Southampton this game, and then that's what caused the goals. Right. I feel like we were out of position. We got caught lacking off the counterattacks, and Southampton did really well to execute on those counterattacks. They took advantage of their chances, honestly.
Genuinely, I'm not talking great about the fact that they are so hell bent on playing out of the back. But even early on in the season, I maybe have seen 3, maybe 4 Southampton games just when our teams have played. They're good at playing out of the back.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly, they're good. It's
Yeah.
just they create no chances from it for some reason.
Right.
But
it's just against the big teams. Like it's naive to think you're gonna if you're doing that, you're probably conceding a goal against a big team.
I agree.
More than likely, because even the big teams against the big teams, they're prone to make mistakes. So I mean, more pressure when you're.
They did a good job against City, honestly.
The only logic I see behind that is maybe you stick to that style of play. Yeah, you're going to get relegated this season, but you're looking to just jump right back up.
Yeah,
jump right back up. Because, guys like Company at Burnley did a really good job playing that way. Yeah. Southampton itself did really well last year. That's the only way I understand how that makes sense from a logic standpoint.
Right. So, after that, they get a PK. minute 40, Robertson fouled him. And let's just take a moment to talk about the refereeing.
That was
because
terrible
they
call.
don't give
That was
so
not
they don't
consist-
give a penalty for the Konate push.
Yeah.
That we believe is more.
That was
of
a foul
penalty.
on Robertson, but it was outside of the box.
Exactly. It's 100% outside
It's like,
of the box.
we made a mistake there. Let's just give him this one.
Dude,
That's what
is
it
that,
looks
man?
like on
Oh
TV
my
when we're
God.
watching it.
It's
It's
so
terrible.
embarrassing. Like talking about
It's
the
so
refereeing,
unprofessional from the Premier
It's
League.
really bad.
Like these refs are making the game look like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like we're fans. We watch the game week in week out. We laugh at these refs.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yep.
We have better refs at our local
legit
leagues. You know?
Imagine if we had VAR and all that stuff.
I remember when VAR came in and we were like, all right, like nobody should ever be arguing a penalty or
Right.
a refereeing
Yeah.
decision
Worse.
again.
Yeah,
If anything,
yeah.
it got worse.
Yeah, literally. It's sad to see because it's the best league in the world.
The best league in the world.
And it has the worst refereeing.
Yes, this league is watched over 200 countries across the whole world, and you have these refs representing your league. It looks terrible.
There's a really good talking point in that with the whole situation that's unfolded with David Coote. And
Right.
Wow, what is that?
That
what type
blew
of
my
character is that
mind.
to hire to be a ref in the Premier
like,
League?
yeah, you can definitely say that for sure. At
We're not
on
gonna-
one point, I can say, yeah, like you're working in a workplace. You probably don't get along with everybody you interact with. And you probably go home and you do talk freely amongst people. For you to get
Right.
recorded and for that to go out,
That's different.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm sure other referees do that, right?
Right.
But now in my head, it's like, if a referee is favoring towards a certain team or not favoring towards a certain team based on their own personal feelings, what's to say that there's not other refs doing the same thing?
Right?
Michael Oliver's been pictured with a Newcastle shirt.
yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
how do you think a Newcastle
embarrassing.
fan is going to
It's
feel about
embarrassing.
refereeing a Man United game?
And the thing that gets me mad is that they only want English referees.
This is very
so
problematic.
can't
so
get
how
that.
are you saying this and then this is the face that you're showing? I'm sorry, but that looks terrible. And I mean, why not just the best league in the world get the best referees in the world?
I've always
get
maintained
the best
it.
systems in the world, get the best technology in the world, right? That all makes logical sense. But no, there's English.
It has to be
this
all
and that.
English, yeah. The one thing
There's
is,
something about that that doesn't rub off
Yeah,
right.
man.
You know?
for me, I've always maintained it. If you know the referee's name, that's problematic.
Yeah,
You know that
yeah.
really legendary referee, the guy with the eyes. That's scary. I don't know his name. That's a good thing that I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's a good
If I
point.
know your name as a referee, you've probably
It's
made
like
some
we
big
know all
blunders
the-
in your
we know
time.
all the refs in the Premier League because they always make the show about themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
you
literally,
know?
Michael Oliver, Anthony
Oh,
Taylor.
who's that one guy? The Tottenham one. Have you seen where Tottenham score a goal and he runs off and he's celebrating? I forget what his name
No
is.
way.
Mike Dean.
Really?
Mike Dean, a freaking
Oh,
legend.
I hate him.
He was a
I hate
terrible
him.
referee.
That's the guy who rigged the game against the Luis Diaz goal. against
Yeah,
Spurs.
that was him.
I'm pretty sure it was
Interesting.
Mike
He didn't
Dean.
play. He hasn't refs ever since. Maybe.
No, really?
I mean, like he doesn't ref anymore at least. So I don't know. I feel like there's a way to get
I
to
don't think
it
it was
where
Mike
refereeing in that and in the Premier League can get better. But
It can. I think there needs to be an accountability aspect.
I
Like,
think I'm liking it on how the refs are like they're kind of play a role in the game. Like they're the characters we know as well from
Yeah,
the games. I
right.
like that a lot because
yeah.
I see
But
a future
still-
where it's just straight AI robots.
No.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Nah,
I wouldn't
I
do
really
that.
hope not.
That's
I
a
really
different
hope not.
topic.
I mean, bro, part of the game used to be in like the big controversy with VAR was that like soccer it is prone to human error. You know, so it's like that's part of the
Yes,
sport.
exactly. It's
you
part
know?
of the
And
sport.
but the thing is that now it's not happening like accidentally or naturally. It's like happening forcefully.
In front of our faces,
Yeah,
too.
and like with it just feels like kind of like force in a sense, you know, like like we have to make this call rather than like I made the call.
Why don't we
You know?
interview referees after games? Yo, can you
can't.
explain your
You
decision?
know how much crap.
That
Get it
would-
right.
That's too much spotlight.
You're in the
It's
biggest
probably-
league in the world, bar the Champions League and maybe international competitions. Explain your decision. I saw it this way, this way, this way.
Yeah.
And then I'll respect the referee, be like, yeah, I got that one wrong.
Right.
I respect that. Genuinely,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
respect that.
I mean, being a ref is hard. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Like,
It's
it's
being-
terrible.
it's tou-
It's
tough.
tough. Like, people are screaming at you. Excuse me. People are screaming at you all the time. You got to make the right call. Pressure's on. But it's disappointing from the best league in the world.
All that being said, I think you got away with it.
Yeah, but we're talking
Well, I mean,
about the Robertson.
yeah,
the Konate
the
one,
PK.
the Konate one should have been a penalty, and then later on in the game, that also should have been a penalty.
Right.
Neither times did he have intention to play the
But
ball.
the thing is, the second time was not a penalty.
How?
It was a foul, but it was outside of the box.
No, not the Robertson one. The one with Konate late in the game
So
to make
that,
it
if
3-3.
that would have been a penalty, then you're talking about the later on Konate
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
back?
yeah.
We
That's a
haven't got
penalty.
Oh, I don't know.
That's
That
just
one
not-
was a little tough. for
That's
me
a
to say.
penalty. 2 weeks ago, you were telling me Matthias de Ligt coming together with
Nah,
Danny
that's
Ings.
different. That's
How's it
different.
different?
Because
if anything, that's worse.
I don't
He has
think so.
zero intent to play the ball.
He's covering him though, right? Like he's just being
Who's
being a
covering
center
him?
back and he's covering.
He's just
him.
putting
And
pressure on that
So why
striker.
is he putting in a tackle on the wrong side of the ball in the first place if he has intent to play the ball?
I don't think he puts in a tackle. He kind of just like stands hard and firm, and the guy kind of tries to like get through him and like kind of falls.
I disagree. I
know
think
what I
he
mean?
does that
It's
on the
kind of like
opposite end.
receiving-
Bro, you
the ball
gotta
with
give
back,
benefit of the
with
doubt
his
to the defenders in the box, bro. Like they can put a body on you.
Understand.
They can
Yeah.
shove you around.
Do you,
Yeah.
but you at some
shouldn't
point
be
you
shove.
need
Not shove.
you need to have
Yeah.
intent to play the ball
Bro,
if you're putting in a challenge.
All these professionals use their hands while they're playing. They're not supposed to use your hand at all when you're playing soccer.
You can use your hand. It's a physical
No,
game.
they
But
literally
it's
let
about
them.
the intent.
Have you seen sometimes
to win the ball?
on the wings when they're running next to each other, and then the defenders, the right back and left backs?
Yeah, it
to
turns
catch
into
up,
like
they
a little
use
bit
their
of a
hands.
shoving.
You're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be
See, that's a
doing that.
foul. That's a foul.
They get away with this.
I think
type
if there's a
of stuff.
pull on it, yeah. But if I'm
They let
holding
them.
you like this
They let
off,
them.
I think that's fine.
Right.
At
Which
the end
I
of the
think,
day,
I
you
think that's what more.
you shouldn't be
Konate's
using your
with.
hand to catch up to a player. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Right.
literally use their hand to slow them down to catch up to them.
Yeah.
You know they do that all the time.
Yeah, Konate's was more like standing firm. I feel like.
But he
Yeah.
puts a tackle in on the opposite side of the guy. If you think he's putting in a tackle, he puts his leg out, and the guy falls over.
He didn't put
eventually.
his leg out though.
He
did put
just
his leg
ran
out.
He just ran into
Yeah,
him
he
from the
just
back.
So he ran into him. So two people came together in the
That's
box,
like-
and it was a
it's
penalty.
different.
All right,
That's-
you're a defender, right? You see a striker in front of you. The ball's about to be played right in front of him. You're just gonna let him score?
No, but I'm gonna attempt to make a tackle
That's
on the
what he
ball,
did.
right?
He
No,
attempted-
let me land.
That's
Hold
not
on,
true.
hold on,
That's
hold on.
stabbing,
The
Lala.
striker-
Hold on.
You're
No,
not
he's
supposed
not.
to
It's
stab.
not about stabbing.
The
It's about
striker-
getting in front of the man so that you could get to the ball. Yes.
Yes,
So if you're
but
gonna wait, hold
sometimes
on.
just staying put.
Let me land.
Go.
You're trying to come in to get the ball, right? If that's your intent, and that's how you're looking to block the ball.
Yeah.
You're intending to play the ball so that you can get out.
Yeah.
And that's not what he does. Because if he did, he would have came on the opposite side of the guy and tried to get around him. But instead, he comes to this side, and the ball comes around this way. Two players, yes, they came together. But 2 weeks ago, you're telling me Matthias Delixer should have been a penalty.
That one's different. We can't jump to that topic right now. But
Why not?
Because
two players came together. You just said it.
That one
That
was more of a
one,
PK.
uh,
How is it more of a
Because
PK if the guy was on the way down?
Delict
balls-
literally just kicked.
You
the-
guys are telling me
There's a rabbit
this.
hole. There's a
You
rabbit
guys
hole.
are telling me this. PGOML come out and say that was a wrong
the thing
decision
is,
that we
Delict
made.
attempted attack, like kind of a tackle.
He didn't
We're
attempt
just
to
talking about
attack
how
him.
He
fraudulent
stabbed
these refs are.
though.
That
He
doesn't mean
stabbed his
crap.
foot. Like he kicked the ball.
He didn't kick him.
Kicked.
No,
He
Danny
does
Ings
not-
fell on him.
He had intention to do something.
He
So why
tried
did
to play-
PGOML
he
come
tried
out
to
and
play the-
apologize to Man United?
No,
if that's the case.
The Lake tried to play the ball,
Exactly.
right, and didn't get the ball, and got Danny Ings' foot.
While
Yeah.
Danny Ings is on the way
While
down,
Danny Ings is going to the ball and
on
kinda,
the way down, and he's already
He's not
falling.
on the way
Can we
down,
pull it
though.
up, please?
No,
I mean,
that's
Let's
you
pull it
can't
up.
even
We
do
can
that.
pull it
You
up.
can't even do that. But the thing is, okay. Anyways, the thing is, refereeing is trash, right?
You guys are being as inconsistent as the referees, if
no,
anything.
not at all.
Yeah.
the thing is, we're talking about Liverpool right now and talking about their play.
I'm just
we're
appreciating the
dragging
fact
it right
how much the referees like to back Liverpool in the country of
They
England.
back up every
They have the
team.
media, they have the
That's
refereeing
so
association
wrong. We've gone
in their
done
back
wrong
pocket
all the time. We've gone done wrong
Right,
all the
right,
time.
yeah. Liverpool. We didn't call you that for a while for nothing.
See, this is why VAR is
Barchester.
trash, because every team feels like they've been done by VAR, and then every
We've
other
gotten
team
done by
thinks that
VAR a
the-
lot of times.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Like,
But
come
you
on,
you feel like
clearly.
other
the
teams.
biggest robbery in the VAR era was against Liverpool, hands down. Like you telling me that Luis Diaz against Tottenham, that was the most rigged offside call I've ever seen in the VAR era.
Have you seen like where the audio comes out after
Yeah,
some of
even
those
if you
decisions?
put the bodies, they asked me, "Are you sure with that decision?" Like, are you?
They thought the original decision was offside. So they were like, yeah, the correct decision.
Anyways, so yeah, we went. There was a penalty on Robertson,
Yeah, so you guys,
which was clearly outside of the box.
clearly outside of the box.
But okay,
Whatever.
We're not expecting Prem refs to be
Competent.
consistent at this point.
Yeah. So then
They make it to
they make it to
1-1.
Good from Kelleher. He blocks a shot, right, and then
Yeah.
almost blocks a rebound too, but he gets the rebound. And you guys can
They
see.
make it 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah, 1-1. And then
Second
Southampton, beautiful.
Yeah,
goal.
beautiful goal
You
on
said
the
it
counter attack.
yourself. Yeah, on the counterattack. You guys were kind of going, and they just caught him,
They
right? I
just
think the
caught him.
commentator said it really well. He said 3 Southampton players broke your back line, you know?
Right.
And it was Fraser first on the right side, and then he
Rodriguez.
passed it to...
It was Rodriguez or Fernandez.
Yeah, and then he
Fernandez.
passed it to Fernandez, and then... No, but he passes it before. It was a good team goal.
Yeah, it was a good
Fraser
team.
gets it on the right. He gives it to someone in the middle,
and I think it was Fernandez or Rodriguez.
Yeah, and then Fernandez gets on the end of it and scores. Really good Southampton goal. That's
goal.
one of the only times that they're playing out of the back really worked.
Benefited them,
paid
yeah.
off. Yeah. And then let's talk about the goal to tie it up.
What a goal.
Another goal, I think. What a goal. But I think, again, they kind of give that to you, right? Like, McCarthy does so bad, I think. He literally doesn't really come to the ball. He kind of comes to the left. And I think he tries to predict Salah's first touch, and Salah just rinses him with his first touch.
That was filthy.
Like,
That
if you're
was filthy.
Keep, but that's like trash from Keep, right? Because if you're a Keep, you shouldn't believe that you're going to win
A 50-50?
not even a 50-50. Like, he's getting to the ball. He
Wait.
thinks he's going to get to his
should've
first
stayed
touch.
in, yeah.
He thinks he's going to get to his, like, he's going to predict his first touch and get to it.
Isn't
Right.
Ramsdale at Southampton?
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured.
Oh, so this guy's not even their number
No,
one.
he hasn't seen the pitch in like a long time. I
Wow.
can't remember specifically, but it was
Damn.
like
That's
bad.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so
So imagine
they
bringing in
took
a
advantage of
goalkeeper.
that. I think that's why
Colours.
you guys were shooting from far
Yeah.
too.
They kept
You
shooting
guys
on
kept
him. Maybe they
shooting.
said just shoot
Yeah.
on him. He's
I mean,
done.
imagine like
Slot, I
a
like
goalkeeper who doesn't touch grass frequently, right? And then you're playing for Southampton, and you're coming in and you're asked to play out the back.
Yeah.
Like, again, that just adds
Against
to the
Liverpool.
irrationality.
Against
that was a
Liverpool.
beautiful ball from
Terrible.
Gravenberg, though. What a ball.
Yeah.
To Salah.
That was.
That was
I thought
just-
maybe it was Konate, but you're
Salah,
right. It was
man,
Konate.
like he just plays game. It's like
That
he's on
was clever.
autopilot.
He's
He doesn't
nasty,
think.
bro.
It feels
He's
like
so good, bro.
What a touch. Like, he messed the keeper's head
did,
up. Honestly,
he
he played mind games.
it
with
felt
him.
like he let it drop on his foot and he was gonna go around and finish it, but then he was like,
Yeah.
I don't even need to do all that.
That's what the goalie thought. The goalie thought he was going to try to take him on, honestly.
Right.
Because how
Right.
far he was and how close he came out
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
He did not expect Salah to just...
Guys on a
That's
Ballon d'Or
crazy. You
charge,
just
man.
saw that goal. Because when you're attacking, like, you don't see the goal fully open. You just predict it. you know?
Yeah.
See,
The
but
ball-
that's pitch geography, right?
Yeah.
The best players,
That's
they don't need to know where anything is. They
Right.
just know.
They just
they
know.
know
You
where in
feel
between
it.
the
You
two
feel-
posts
and
are.
you feel it
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm like, it's me. It's coming to me. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of hectic.
I don't need to
It
take
is,
3
it's
glances
hectic.
before I
It's
take a
fast.
shot off. I
Receiving
know where
the
the goal
ball,
is.
coming like a long ball off the, like, across.
Tough.
especially going into goal.
Going into the goal. So
It's hard.
it's a clever goal. You got to give Salah.
He's
And then the
probably
second
he's
one.
probably the best at it.
And then the second
That
one.
was
the
a clear
second one.
penalty on Southampton.
So,
Yeah, I would
that
say
was
so.
that was a clear penalty. But then again, like, Southampton shooting themselves in the foot.
Right.
I see this sub coming in, and I'm like, I wonder what he's gonna do. And I forgot who crosses it in. Ball bounces right in front of him, hits him right here, kind of like shoulder and arm.
I thought it was
You could argue
harsh.
and then it hits him on the arm.
Yeah.
that's a handball.
I think it's a
Like,
handball, yeah, but
it's a
still, I think that's
handball.
harsh.
It's
And they did take Timikas down in the box too. They literally tackled
During
him.
that cut, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
so
I
it was
remember
2
that.
penalties at once.
yeah. So you gotta
Couldn't
give
get
it to
away
him.
with it.
Yeah.
Salah scores, takes his shirt off. Luis Diaz holds it up. So overall, just really good comeback. Another comeback win
That's crazy.
for Liverpool. And you guys just seem to be unstoppable, man. I mean, it seems like you're
8
getting over
points
hurdles.
clear.
That was kind of
Wild.
sketchy
Clear.
though against Southampton. Yes, an away game, but
yeah,
still,
but whatever, man. You're gonna have those games. Like,
Refs helped you out.
what says a lot is that you're able to get the 3
Yeah.
points, and how you're looking after you get scored on. I think that's really
That's
important.
really
But
comfortable.
look,
You
I
don't
compare-
look like after you get scored on. It's like fight or flight.
Right.
You know, you guys look like you are willing to kill. You know, like dude, you should have seen that. Like right after they score, and like how Salah was making those runs,
Right.
and how the team just like
Right, he was
it's
going at
actually
it.
nasty, bro.
I
I
see
haven't
s-
seen Salah this active in
I
a
want
lot
to
of
see
games.
you guys do that against
Like,
City.
yeah,
That
I
would
would
be
love to
bad.
see
That's
that.
next week, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's next week.
But yeah, so Salah this game he was active.
Yeah, he
Usually,
was.
like he even sometimes he says it himself in interviews. Like, yeah, sometimes I don't get the best out of the game, but I know where my vision is. Like sometimes, and as long as I put the ball behind the net, I've had
Right.
a good game.
Yeah,
But this game, Salah was going at it.
Yeah.
Like, kept shooting, kept
yeah.
dribbling.
He was less of a creator in a sense.
Yeah.
I think he was more direct, like towards goal. Maybe
Yeah,
again has to do with the fact of the keeper. I did see him create a little bit here and there, but
He did.
was more about.
But this game, they put the creativity on Szoboszlai,
Ah.
which he didn't do bad, but he needs to be more lethal with his through balls. I think he doesn't try through balls a lot. It's always short play,
yeah,
connecting, passing. Like he likes playing the tiki taka, but I like players like playing that role that have that through ball specialist.
Right.
You know,
McAllister.
cut it. Yeah, like McAllister. And Szoboszlai has a foot on him. He can
Right.
do that.
He has good
Yeah.
technique. And
Yeah, he just I don't see the Odegaard through breaking line pass.
I don't think he's
Ronaldo.
exactly the same. I think if you look at the stats, he's a high defensive action attacking
but
midfielder.
he has the technicality for that.
No,
stuff.
he's quality technically.
Yeah.
I watched some of him while he was at Leipzig, and what was very interesting is he would almost overlap the right winger in a sense, and he
Yeah.
would put some
He was a
beautiful
cam.
crosses into the box.
Yeah.
As a cam.
Yeah.
But he would really venture off into this right wing area and whip those balls across the
did.
face of goal, and he was lethal with that.
was.
Yeah.
His technique is fantastic. I don't think you guys have
just
gotten
wanna-
enough out of him.
Yeah, I just want to see more through balls.
Takes time,
with
I
him
think.
breaking lines. You know,
Yeah. I think,
rather than other
He
than
likes
that,
it
he's
over
great.
more than he likes it on the ground.
Yeah,
so
he
it's,
does.
you know?
He does.
yeah. No, but I think he's top. I mean, again, McAllister comes on and kills it.
He
right? I
kills
think
it. They changed the game.
Yeah, they
Him
kind of
and
changed the game.
Diaz. That substitution was crucial. Honestly,
Yeah.
they put a lot of pressure on them, and they played way better playing the style of football they were playing this game with the 3 flat center mids. McAllister fitted it perfectly in there.
Right.
I think they get a better game out of McAllister when you have him as a flat 3 center mids with him instead of playing him as a deep 6.
Yeah.
You get way more out of him when he's playing a little bit higher.
I think it makes sense because then he doesn't have to worry as much
about defensively, but
yeah.
he has defensive duties. Yeah, we
he's
don't
a,
have a.
he's a beast on that too.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
would be
that's when you
scary.
can maybe catch
It would be scary if Liverpool had a proper CDM that plays that role.
Yeah.
Center
Like if you
center
had
defensive.
Partey.
We don't have
Imagine
anybody.
Gravenberg.
Partey or Rice.
Yeah, imagine Gravenberg, McAllister, and then a deep lying 6,
Deep line
Zubamendi maybe, and then a Szoboszlai that can come in too. That's quality.
That's
Do you
nasty.
think Zubamendi is this actual? I see him as more of an 8. I don't
No,
know.
no, not at all. Zubamendi's
I
a
know.
deep lying like Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, I know. He
Like a
lacks
Pep Guardiola.
physicality.
Yeah, to an extent, but he's very good on the ball and he's smart about how he positions
Right.
himself.
Right.
And he'll give you the 5, 6, 7 yards you need, and he'll be smart about reading the interceptions.
Right.
Right.
I mean, we saw it in
I
the.
saw that.
We saw in the Euros
In the
final.
Euros, yeah.
Rodri gets injured, pulled at halftime. You didn't even notice that he was
No.
gone.
No,
He
yeah.
was, they executed that.
And I think you guys might go back into the market for
Yeah,
somebody
I
of
feel
that.
like I think in the winter time they're gonna bring.
I don't
him.
think you're looking for that destroyer number 6, like you were with the Fabinho, for example.
No.
I think you're looking for tick, tick, tick
Yeah.
slot because we know the difference between, we talked about it, him and Klopp. He does favor that control a little bit more and cherishes it. He likes to hold the ball, take care
I think
of
this
it.
game he was playing different because he was trying new things out. He was trying to counter
Slot?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
trying attacking football.
Right.
Because this game he
Credit
didn't,
to him. You're playing against
he didn't
worse
play that
teams in the league.
regular slot ball where you hold on to the ball, let them press you.
No, let's be
He
quick,
did- I
fast,
don't-
direct.
Yeah, he didn't have that chance. I don't think so. So
That's
he
good.
played more attacking, more of that Klopp.
Yeah.
That's
football.
fun. That's fun. It keeps it different. You know?
Yeah.
That's good for the players too.
It is.
That's one thing I always say. Like keeping it fresh, it just helps the player, man. Like as a player, you get excited. You know,
Against
if you're playing
City,
the exact same.
You got
all the
City,
time,
you got Real Madrid in the midweek and Man City on the weekend.
Wow.
You have opportunity to make
What a
City
week.
lose 6 on the bounce.
But I mean, you had
That's scary,
probably your
man.
best week was when you played. Who was it? You played a
Leverkusen?
big team and then you played
Leverkusen,
another big
Aston
team.
Villa,
Yeah.
or
so-
Arsenal, was it? Or
Arsenal, maybe. Yeah. It was
You know,
Arsenal.
yeah.
there's a lot of parallels, I would say, from this Premier League season, last one. You think about how Arsenal kind of pulled ahead in the lead, and then City came back in the end to win it with
Right.
Liverpool like coming on.
Yeah.
But you guys have the difference between that and you guys have winners in your team.
Right.
You got a Van Dijk, you got a Salah, you got,
Right.
Alisson, players that
Yeah.
have been there, won with the club, knows how it feels, can get a grip of the dressing room, even in times where you're 2-1 down to Southampton.
Right.
Yeah.
That is something that Arsenal don't have that you
Resilience.
guys have. So I
Yeah.
think onus is on you guys to win the Premier League.
Right.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll be here for it.
Yeah, I'll be here. Chelsea's gonna be there.
We have
9
winners
points.
we have winners on our team, not just in the Prem.
Yeah.
We have players like McAllister that's won a World Cup. We have
Yeah.
Gravenberg that's won like a league title
Ajax.
with Ajax and with Bayern Munich.
Right, yeah.
We have Konate who's had a taste. So they know what it is to win.
Right.
They have that experience
Yeah.
and they know how to.
It's important. That is
Yeah,
crucial.
The biggest pressure is when you're winning. Like let's say that, for example, like the Arsenal team,
Yeah.
and they have no experience in winning. They have they have like 9 points clear at the top of the table. That's when it gets difficult, I think.
Because
In
at any
terms of a
moment,
league game,
because
like-
what happens when you go 2-1 down to Southampton?
Yeah.
You start looking around and you're like, damn, I'm kind of feeling the pressure. You don't have that guy who it's like, let's go. Come on, we're going to go again. Rope you in and let's go. We have an opportunity to win.
That pressure is kind of difficult to handle. When
Big
you're
time.
in the winning spotlight and you have to maintain that winning spotlight.
Big time. That's where the big players come and shine through.
That's where Salah shines.
Exactly.
My friend mentioned it earlier. He said, you guys, it's gonna be interesting to see because he feels like for most of the part, you guys are used to chasing.
Right.
Rather than being ahead.
Good point, yeah.
You know, so it's going to be interesting to see that. I mean, we've seen the Stevie G slip and all that stuff, you know? So it's just like, I don't know, I'm there, 9 points away. I know that sounds...
That's why I'm not very optimistic about winning the league. Yeah, like, I am kind of, but being 8 points clear early before December. Like, it's almost December. Yeah. It's almost the first half of the season, but we've seen Klopp hold a lead this big even after December, up to February, and we still ended up losing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all depends on how.
I just don't think you're competing against the same level of opposition.
I feel like I'll definitely say the competitiveness has dropped.
You got guys in that dressing room like Van Dijk, Mo Salah that are looking to cement their legacies further beyond what it already is.
Right.
Become like undoubted greats in their position.
Right.
Both of them are going for that. Like you can't take that away from them.
Probably like starting lineup ever.
Yeah, like Mo Salah gets into that for me personally. If you play 4-4-3, he gets into 4-3-3, he gets into it.
Yeah.
The same thing with Van Dijk. An opportunity for him to get a one-up on a guy like a Rio or Vidic, which absolutely will never happen. It's completely different.
That's a good way to segue into Manchester United versus Ipswich. All right, so transitioning to Manchester United versus Ipswich, we have a 1-1 scoreline with Rashford scoring in the first 88 seconds, first 81 seconds, and then Omari Hutchinson scoring a worldly, right? So overall, not crazy game in terms of goals, but just interesting because it's the first time we see Amorim in the Prem. It's the first time that's United without Ten Hag, and it's felt like it's been coming for a while. So now that we're finally here, Lawa, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Amorim's first performance?
Dude, I gotta say, man, I was building this game up like you have no idea. It was like a main event for me.
Right.
I was really excited. A few interesting things. Immediately he came in, had a few training sessions during international break, and we posted them online. Weird, like 7-8 minutes of real training footage coming in.
I thought all the teams do that sometimes.
No,
sometimes, like I've seen Chelsea.
Usually what it is, it's like the warm up and then like a little bit, and then just kick out all the camera people. But this time around, like they stuck around for tactical stuff, and you saw a lot of it. What was he doing? Some shadow play. Okay. Where it's just opposition versus mannequins and how do you transition into attack, and then it was interesting because he would kick the ball and then he would see how the defensive structure looks on that recovery.
Nice.
Lots of interviews come out from Amorim, and first thing you get from him, like we were talking about, was that charisma and his charm in front of the media. Seriously though, like he's rizzed me up. I'll tell you that much.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was. I was really excited about the game. Had very high expectations, and then kind of let me down with regards to
the result.
Yeah, realistically, but I think there's a lot of important takeaways that we could get from the game.
Yeah, I saw that you guys played with a 3 at the back and played Ahmad and Dalla outside back.
Yeah, right away when the lineup
was it
came
Dalla
out.
with the outside back or was it Mazraoui?
So it was Mazraoui played as a third center back, and it was Ahmad as a right wing back, and Dalla was a left wing back.
It was.
Right away when the lineup came out,
that was an exciting lineup. Did you not get excited seeing that?
No, I had a lot of questions. To be honest,
you have Garnacho and Rashford and up top.
That I was
Ahmad
excited for
at the same time.
Yeah, that's not exactly how we lined up with regards to what happened in the game. Lineup came out, and on the app where it shows you the lineups, it showed us in a 3-4-3, which is what we ended up playing. But I was like, that might be a back four. And I'm like, did we just put out all that training footage and all this hype about us playing 3-4-3, like mind games?
Right.
But that didn't end up being the case. Immediately, you saw that Mazraoui was playing as that center back. Dallo and Diallo were getting higher up the pitch. Okay. And 88 seconds in, Ahmad's running down the wing, puts in a decent cross, and Rashford's there to tap it in. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is about to be.
I literally texted you before the game started. I don't know what it was. I think it was I saw Rashford walking into the pitch.
Yeah.
When the players walk out. and he just looked like he was ready to drop the nastiest performance.
Overall,
like,
yeah.
I texted Lau. I was like, Rashford scoring a hat trick. Today's the day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then he scores in 80 seconds. I'm like, yo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I looked at my brother. I was just side-eyeing him because he's been hating on Rashford a little too much for my liking. I was just side-eyeing, and I'm like,
I was
better keep it
making transfers for my FPL.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I was like, let me put Rashford on my team.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to score this weekend.
Yeah.
I knew something was
him coming back up top was very interesting, but real quick to just give credit to Ipswich, they played fantastic.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
If anything, I think they should be the ones that are more disappointed not
It
coming.
looked like
you
guys didn't give him any troubles. Like you guys were just facing another team in the Prem, but at the same time, Ipswich is battling relegation.
Good.
Right.
They are battling relegation, but man, they are a quality side.
Yeah, I know. They could be obviously
The way that their manager Kieran McKenna has set them up, they look very well
He
drilled.
used to work with Man United. Right?
Yeah, he was Ole's assistant coach,
Yeah.
and the word was a lot of the times it was him that was running a lot of the sessions. And he had really good relationships with the players, and
I
think he's a good manager.
Doing pretty well with what he has on.
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't-
what I was gonna
his
say.
lineup, you know?
Yeah, with a couple of players that he has, like in terms of talent, it feels like he's really bringing out the best of them. Hutchinson,
Yeah.
their striker,
Liam Delap.
He went a couple of games in the Prem without scoring at first. Remember, they went like 3-4
but still
games.
he was putting in
And
good
then-
performances.
Yeah, and then he finally like explodes, and now like he has like 6 goals already.
Yeah, shout out to Twanzebe because man,
He's-
dude, that guy should have had a long career.
I feel like Man United did make them look a little bit too good, honestly.
So what Amorim comes out to say after the game is that we were thinking too much. You could tell that our players were thinking too much about how we want to set up structurally and making sure they were in the right positions.
That's interesting,
Because it's quite a drastic change.
Yeah.
He mentions Dalot, who's typically under Ten Hag would be coming inside inverting, but now he's like, no, you got to stay there. So you see a little bit of that. We're very deep. We played very, very deep, and I think a part of that was because of Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, man.
Right, I was surprised to see him in the lineup.
I think the lineup was weird to me because I was like, that's nowhere near the quality with regards to the players. I think there was better quality options that you could have picked, but
Right.
I think it was because of the international break.
Yeah.
He prioritized the guys that were there
Yeah.
mostly for his training sessions, understood his ideas.
Yeah.
So that's why you didn't see Ugarte, for example, because
Right.
that midfield was
I
lightweight.
thought he was starting.
No, it was Casemiro and Eriksson today.
Oh, then Ugarte came in later.
Like at 50 something.
I saw
56.
Luke Shaw make an appearance after a long time.
Yeah, he featured. Luke
I
Shaw's
saw that.
back.
He looked a little bit. He looked way off, honestly.
Wait, what happened?
Looked uncomfortable.
Really?
Didn't play aggressive as he usually does. He wasn't going in for tackles.
I mean, he's probably
Played
hasn't
soft a
played
little bit.
since
Yeah.
9 months at
but
least.
it's okay.
I know. I'm glad to
I am
see him.
so
honestly.
fed up with Luke Shaw. You have no idea. Like
Yeah.
he should be the first person on the bin list when it comes to.
You were a huge Luke Shaw fan.
I mean, dude,
You know?
when he plays, he's good. He doesn't
Yeah.
play. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, it's weird. I think it's also like he wouldn't play and then he'd show up for England out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a little bit of a disrespect.
Yeah,
United over England every single day of the week.
No way.
Absolutely.
I don't think
United
it-
versus England. United in general don't have a good relationship with England.
Right.
Yeah, but couple things that we learned from this game. It's gonna take time, and I think it's almost a good thing that we don't come out guns blazing.
Yeah.
Because I think we need to identify what our real problems are at the football club.
Right.
Did we see huge drastic changes with regards to the players' performance versus when Ten Hag? Not really.
No.
And the one big thing that Amiron has come in and you're like, yeah, this is going to be the idea going forward is you need intensity in your recruitment strategy.
Okay.
Our players don't have that intensity for us to be able to go back to front quick and be transitionally disciplined.
Yeah.
And you saw that. Today was only in one other game this season have we ran less and covered less ground than we did today against Ipswich side. And a lot of the times we were playing so safe. It was like everybody was not willing to be threatening,
Yeah.
and we were just playing it safe. How many times did we knock the ball back to Onana to just reset our play?
Right.
It was irritating me because I'm like,
Yeah.
break a line.
Right.
Ipswich
It's
did well.
Ipswich,
Yeah, Ipswich
in a
did well to
sense.
press us.
Yeah.
Give them the credit for that, yes.
Right.
But again, we're Manchester United, and I want
Yeah.
us to be attacking a little bit
Right.
going forward.
I
But
thought you guys would give him a little bit more of a hard time, but they didn't look like a team.
they
that's
had more
battling.
XG than us. They should.
They
If it
did.
wasn't for Andre Onana, we'd probably lose
Yeah.
today's game.
It
Yeah.
didn't look like a team that was fighting relegation. at
Yeah.
all,
Dude, did
against
you
Man
see
United
that?
today.
Do you see that Onana block?
Yeah.
Dilap shoots. I thought
That was
goal.
pretty
Like, you know,
nasty.
I think it's going in.
I think Garnacho did pretty well.
Terrible.
honestly.
He was
He's
absolutely
not
dreadful.
bad.
on FUBMOB, he's the lowest rating.
He was
But
terrible. He
he
didn't
was-
get a shot off. He didn't create key passes. He missed a big chance. He didn't pass to Rashford when he should have. Overall, not
I
a
saw
good
him
showing
hustling
from him.
more than a lot of your up top players.
And dude, and that's the big thing with us just generally this season. Our forward line is not threatening.
Not at all.
We have like 10 XG created across the whole season. So based on statistical data, we should have only had 10 goals at this stage of the season.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
12 goals. Like, what is our record? Isn't it like 4-4-4?
Yeah, it's
0
perfect.
goal difference.
Yep.
What? Reset. Just hit the reset button. Factory
Literally.
reset us.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes, Mazraoui can play the long ball, and that's part of his game. And I see him a lot of the times where like he has so much time where like he can just dink a long ball to somebody, and there seems to be nobody open for him to do
I think that was instructional. I think that was instructional because of every time the ball came to Onana or he was on a goal kick, he always went short.
Right.
Which he hasn't been. In fact, he's been going long a lot more frequently.
Yeah, I don't see you guys playing that long ball at all. And you guys have Onana.
Who's going to hold it up for us?
Yeah,
Rashford?
exactly.
Yeah,
Rashford's
but
the
still.
only player
Højlund's wrestling with center backs? Like, who's going to hold the ball up for
Rashford's
us?
the only player that can do that, and he can't even,
And even
really
like
do that anymore. It's
Onana can even play the ball in behind.
No, yeah, he
And
can.
somebody can chase it. And I don't see that. from
Unbelievable
United.
with and without the ball, genuinely. And I don't think people are giving him the credit that he
He's
deserves.
so comfortable, especially when you guys are getting pressed.
Yeah.
And you guys pass it back to him like he's just another
Safe.
player.
So
It's
safe.
So safe.
Part of it is like,
resets
we have that reset.
It resets the press, the other team's press, because they literally are like, there's no.
And I can appreciate that, but we just did that too much today, and it was really, really, really bothering me. Honestly, wasn't a big fan. Our midfield was getting ran through like just constantly.
Yeah, Eriksen wasn't good enough.
Very like poor, even in possession. I mean, you think of Eriksen, you think ball retention, right? And he only completed like 80% of his passes.
I mean, but like you said, right? Like it's him and Casemiro. I think it was in midfield. I mean, and they have so much ground to cover. As well, so it's I don't know. You can kind of understand why.
Task for Casemiro,
for both
old
of those?
Casemiro and old Eriksen to cover ground.
Yeah, and Casemiro did all right. I think he won like 5 duels or tackles or something along that line. He was all right. But
it makes sense that Amorim was probably thinking that he could manage this game in a sense, right? Like control the game.
Honestly,
have Eriksen
it was
and
a great
Casemiro
game.
show their experience and all that stuff.
We lacked intensity.
Yeah.
We did not have the intensity that was required to play Amorim ball.
It was a great first game for a manager in the Premier League, especially.
It was okay. I thought
getting this result out of this game, I feel like is gonna put a lot of pressure on.
I mean, it's a way.
Shoulders.
It's a way too.
Because I think even watching the game, I didn't see him being comfortable on the sideline. Like
no, he looked.
He seems like he got himself as like.
I think he's learning and understanding his players better, right? And he came out in the media very early doors and said, "I back these players. I believe these players 100% until they prove me wrong."
Right.
Wow.
So slowly, that's over time. He's going to realize, this guy's not cut out. Casemiro doesn't have the intensity levels of years past to cut it in an Almiron ball team. Eriksen, same deal. You have to be able to be a hardworking team to play Almiron ball because it's very, very vertical and direct, but also controlled at the same time.
Yeah.
One big problem that you've seen with Man United is our retention, particularly in the attacking half, attacking third and middle thirds, poor.
Right.
Absolutely poor, and you saw more of that today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that needs to be addressed over the coming weeks.
I think also like the striker question is kind of looming over you guys. Has been for a good bit. I mean, you see Rashford. I guess he's trusting him or wants to make him maybe his striker.
I like the idea of it,
which I can really see. You kind of have to question in a sense whether that's gonna work.
No, for sure.
Because Højlund seems to be more of his type of striker. More physical. Rashford has the runs and all that stuff. Not to get at him, but I don't know. It's a little weird to me. It's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to play out.
I think all 3 of those guys, Rashford, Højlund, Xerxes, I think they're on borrowed time.
Did you see the video on Twitter? He's like giving all these instructions
to Xerxes, and he's going like this. I'm like, brother, he is not that guy. Like, he is not this guy, whatever you're telling him.
That was a funny video.
Oh, man. There was a point where like a ball got thrown into the area and Xerxes running onto it. I was just like, I knew nothing was going to come of it.
Right.
That's funny.
I think they're on borrowed time, though, because if you need that 9. You need that 9. We need somebody that we can look to score us goals. We just do not have that. And at the same time, we're not creating chances enough to the degree for even the other guys around him.
Seeing my attack perform like that against a weak side like Ipswich.
It's been like that all season, dude.
Like, especially bringing on Højlund, somebody you expect to get a couple shots off on target at least.
He's struggling, man. He's really struggling.
He had a chance to shoot. He had an open shot at, I think, like the first 5 minutes he got in. It was a piss poor shot.
I agree.
Went way over the bar into the stands.
No, I think it would be good for us to play Rashford for an extended point and give him some time away, let him learn, let him adapt. I think one very important takeaway from his press conference, he mentioned, a reporter asked a really good question. They said, you're coming in this point of the season. We're right about at the time of the year where you're playing 3 games a week. You don't get much time on the training pitch to actually put your ideas into play.
Right.
And he said, I trust my squad. I'm going to rotate. Those guys that are playing are going to have a little bit of a reduced workload. There's still opportunity on film for us to learn, and there's going to be rotations. If you're not playing, you're going to be working more.
Right.
So that intensity level is one thing he's really touched up on, and that needs to rise.
Right.
Because we need to be a hardworking team, first and foremost. That's the basics. If you're a team that's struggling, you need to nail the basics and get back to what needs to be done in every single game.
Right.
We don't have that level of intensity, and we need to find that in the coming weeks.
Where do you think you get that? Like,
I think it's mentality.
He was mentioning is like the coaches will find out more about their players during the games than in training.
Of course they will.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't think Amorim knows his players fully. Yeah, he's watched film, this and that. But I think you learn way more
on the training ground, working.
No, you learn more in the game about your players.
Absolutely.
Of course, you know.
Training is where you go to understand and develop. Right. Game day, now it's on you. The onus is on you to perform on the pitch.
So on Amorim to turn this around and show us what he learned from this game onto the next one, maybe. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think a part of it was personnel too, because I anticipate Lisandro Martinez, I think, picked up a slight injury and he wasn't even in the matchday squad. He comes into the squad, I think you're able to play maybe 10, 15 yards higher.
Right.
Yoro is building up his fitness, coming back, and I really think he could be the third center back.
Yeah, and it's a really unorganized situation to be in, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's really unorganized. Just getting thrown to United a little bit before half of the season.
Yeah.
Right before December.
You know what I mean?
Most grueling period.
And you just got to learn your players.
In a way, I appreciate it, though, because now you have till the end of the season. Pressure is a little bit off. Like, if we perform in any sense, people should give us credit because it's been bad.
Yeah, it's been bad.
So it's like you have all that time, and then you'll get a full preseason. Then you're going to be raring to go. But you look at that squad, that's Ten Hag's squad.
Right.
Every time a new manager comes in to a situation like this, now it's like, all right, these are this person's guys. I'm going to need my guys.
Right.
So he's going to need time to understand what is it that I need.
Which of those players are his?
Yeah. So it's overall, it'll take time. And what I really like about what he said is we're gonna win time, because at Man United you need to win first. So we'll win the time to be able to get to where we need to be. And I really appreciate how he's dealt with the media himself.
He seems giddy. Like I saw just
backs himself.
Not the like press conference, but there was like an interview right before the match.
Yeah.
And he just, the way he looks at the reporter is funny. Like he kind of like gives him a cheesy smile. And it's very like, in a sense,
he's just there for the laughs and giggles.
In a sense, innocent, but also like giddy and like bantery.
Yeah,
you know,
comfortable.
Like,
he doesn't seem like a guy with a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
He seems to never really like. It's like he doesn't join the mood; he brings the mood.
He's young too, so
that's a big part of it.
If it's like an investment for the future, like give him time to do what he needs to do. Maybe
his ideas and stuff.
He's a good shot. But
I mean, it's a good result.
Kind of scary though, like putting in a guy in there that doesn't have top flight football experience like that. I would say
no, he doesn't.
You know what
not
I mean?
Not at the very top, at least. No. He has credit in the bank based off of jobs that he's done that are difficult coming into crisis situations. He said it himself. Everybody's comparing me to Mourinho. Mourinho came in as a European Championship winner. I'm not a European Championship winner.
That's good.
He's kind of he's
humble card.
He's kind of alleviating the press.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's dodging it a lot of the times.
That's smart.
This is the manager's version of taking it on the half turn. Is how we look at it.
It should be interesting, right?
Yeah.
To see what you guys develop in the coming months. But I mean, unless you guys got anything else to say about United, we can switch on to.
I can see Anthony playing that left wing back.
Stop. He's the first person on my list. Number 2 is
I can see him playing good with Amiron.
What's interesting actually is Amiron likes weak-sided, footed players on the wing-back areas. So Quenda, the right wing-back that came through Sporting's Academy this season, has been a revelation. He's a left-footed right wing-back. He likes his wing-backs cutting inside, which is so interesting to me.
That's something I did think about, actually. Like, when I was looking at the lineup, I'm like, because even Ten Hag was doing it. I'm like, why do they keep switching up their left back and full back?
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, the left back, we just don't have one.
Mazzarawi's a left back, though, isn't he?
No, he's a right back.
He's a right back.
Mazraoui's a right back. He can play there just because he's an absolute class
I saw
level
him
footballer.
play there and be a beast.
Absolutely, he's fantastic. But what do you see all the time? Cut it back on your right foot and you play it inside.
Right.
All the time you're cutting it back inside instead of having that natural width, which is interesting. I really want to. I think there's a lot to be learned from.
I don't know. I think I would
that.
be more comfortable. I mean, obviously,
Of course.
you guys see them they see them in the training sessions, but I think I would be more comfortable putting Mazraoui on the left and then putting Dallo on the right.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I
But
guess he goes
Mazraoui
with the
played.
tactics.
Mazraoui played as a center back, so he played as a third center back today.
Right.
Him, De Ligt, and Johnny Evans.
Right.
And it was Diallo, who, by the way, fantastic performance from him today.
Yeah.
Who was playing as the right wing back. And again, cutting inside and trying to find those opportunities, but he wasn't able to get that high up on the pitch. Put in a great defensive shift, don't get me wrong, but felt like he was pinned back by the opposition's fullback. Wasn't able to join the attack
I
as
saw
much.
Amorim praise him, saying how much he's learned defensively in the past couple of days.
Yeah.
So
I think
That's
he's banking on the
throwing him
guys
in
that
there.
understand and the idea that he's trying to implement.
Right.
Give the top guys like Ugarte, who just came back from international duty, like we were saying
Yeah.
I mean,
earlier.
he's new. Like, he's, in a sense, like, that's somebody that you're just, like, helping settle down.
Yeah, and he
rather
wants
than,
to
like,
learn.
giving him
He wants to
pressure.
learn his players. He wants to
Yeah.
know what he's working with and where he can find opportunities.
And he has Everton next week, so
A good one.
Decent run of fixtures. Well, we'll see a variability. Top flight,
yeah.
low
Then who do
opposition.
you have after that? Arsenal. You have
I
Arsenal.
think it's Arsenal or
Yeah.
City, one of the two.
You have Arsenal after Everton, which
Yeah.
is going to be a pretty difficult game,
No, but I'm very excited. I gotta say,
especially when Arsenal's just
Arsenal.
yeah, something fresh
Putting their
coming
foot
in through
down.
the door. And
Was that
learning.
going in? If it wasn't a deflection, I was going to ask you that.
Oh, the Hutchinson one?
Yeah.
I think Onana would have had it covered, man.
You
That
think
was
so?
unlucky, yeah. He had some massive saves, genuinely,
Yeah,
today.
that was kind of. It was a beautiful shot. Don't get me wrong, but that deflection kind of
really,
helped it go in.
it kind of made it loop over a little
made
bit.
it
While he was
harder.
already in the air.
Those
trying
are
to
the
get it.
hardest. to
Yeah,
catch.
it always is.
It's
Always.
those headering deflections.
Yeah, it's unlucky, realistically. But you got a credit to Ipswich, man. They played
amazing.
No,
honestly.
they did, and
The way
I
they
hope they
played-
stay in the Premier League. I do hope they stay in the
Yeah.
Premier
They
League.
look
'cause-
way more well structured than like the likes of Luton last season, and
or even like established Prem teams like Wolves aren't in a
Yeah.
good run of form. I'd say Ipswich are a better team than
the-
I
them.
would
That's
say
the
even more
thing.
like Leicester.
Wolves. They switched it up. They
Yeah.
got it. They got out of the relegation now. They've been on a winning streak. I think they had a hard run of fixtures in the beginning of the
Yeah.
season.
They had
That's
the
why they didn't-
second
yeah.
hardest. Yep.
That's why they were sacking O'Neal.
Right.
They're giving him a chance.
Good
'cause
manager too, by the way, Gary
Yeah.
O'Neill. I like him.
He's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
and
like Gary O'Neill.
they've struggled. Wolves lost
But
a few key
Cunha has
players.
been stepping up for Wolves, and
Yeah, he's playing for a move. It seems
Yeah.
like
He's a beast.
screams Liverpool to me. I don't know about what you think about Cunha, Dior.
he's Bobby Firmino replacement.
Stop! Don't get too giddy.
He is that type of player, though.
He is though. He really is.
He is. I would love to
Scores
see him.
bangers, bro.
He
Like he
does.
slings them into the back of the net.
Yeah.
I love him, man. I love Cunha. He's a great player.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
player I like from Wolves is Lamine.
Lamina? Yeah,
he's
yeah.
pretty nice. I like him. He's
I-
a pretty well.
I thought he was going to be
well-rounded
really
center.
good, but he hasn't really kicked on from the
When
level
he's
of hype that I
available,
give
he
him.
performs though. He's kind of injury prone.
No, yeah, for sure.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ait Nouri's a good player from that team
I
too.
know.
I really like him.
We were trying to get him.
I'm sure we'll be
yeah.
looking at him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
he's
sure
a
we
great
will be.
player, honestly, great going up, defensively amazing.
Oh, I don't know. Defensively, I think he's a little suspect.
But he's
personally
he's not bad.
going
He's,
forward, he's fantastic
yes,
though. I
he would
mean,
be a great role for him to play as like a left wing
I
back.
think it's definitely somebody we should look into, whether it's a squad player or even a starter. We just don't have left like Luke Shaw. You mentioned him; he's come back. I anticipate him playing as a left center back alternative until he builds his fitness.
Right.
Absolutely no way is Luke Shaw playing that expansive, get high, get low,
No.
left wing
No,
back
no,
role.
he's
No,
gonna get
not
that.
right
He's
away.
pulling
He's gonna get
something.
rinsed.
He's gonna pull
Easy
something.
money. You might get that for like 20 minutes, but then
Right.
that's it. You won't see him for 3 months.
Going into the Leicester City versus Chelsea.
Ooh, big one.
Big one. Scoreline was 1-2 Chelsea. Jackson and Enzo scoring, and then we conceded kind of a consolation goal, PK. Although we can talk about kind of getting away with maybe a penalty shout they had laid on before that as well. But just to kind of get into the lineup a little bit, a couple of surprises. Really, I didn't expect Fofana to start. He played right back. I thought he had some knee issues, but he started at right back and played well. Badashili, I think, is the standout
I
performer
was
in
surprised
defense.
seeing him
Yeah,
in the starting
and
lineup.
he played really well.
Early in the season, he was practicing with the second team.
Yeah, and he was trash.
Yeah.
He was trash. Like
Second or third team.
dude, he was like there were videos of him, right? Like him defending all over Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was sad.
He's a great
but
player.
he is, and it's I don't know. I'm excited to see what the future plans.
It's crazy
for him
how
are.
many options you guys have
Yeah.
at Chelsea. Like every week, it's a different lineup. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. I love to see
I mean,
it.
so honestly, like we're switching some things up, but for the most part, like the foundational lineup, is pretty much the same. You know, he's switching the fullbacks a lot,
Right.
and then he's kind of deciding his midfield based on who the opposition is. And then I was glad to see he finally made some changes in the forward lineup. He put Joao Felix in.
We were
which
talking
is
about.
awesome.
Did they hear us? We are talking about.
That's
that
what I'm
last week.
saying. And it's funny because I was complaining about Sanchez last week or 2 weeks ago. And literally like 2-3 days after we recorded, I see Kelleher rumor
Yeah.
to Chelsea.
Yo, are they
35
listening to us?
Bro,
Yeah.
Are you guys watching?
Yo, we know what we're talking about. But overall, kind of not super exciting game, but just comfortable game, I would say, as a
Gee,
Chelsea
I would
fan.
love for you guys to win the league, man.
Stop.
I would
Stop.
love it.
Right
Dreams.
now, I'm
If I had to pick
I'm
somebody.
excited to get on top of City. You know the
Yeah.
last time we were in front of City
Wow.
was?
Wow.
Last time City was down bad was like 2-3 seasons ago when they had.
When Conte.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, I'm thinking of the time like Conte came in. You know, Pep was still
No.
there.
Might have been
no.
Pep's first season where he finished
no.
fourth or something.
I
I
know.
think Pep was there.
I'm talking about that a little bit early on the season where they went on a losing streak, but they
Yeah.
weren't. They were like, what? They were like 8th place or 14th.
That's 2020. That's
Yeah, and
that's
then they
the graphic
bounced
I
back.
saw. Literally,
yeah,
it was
I've
8
been-
points, 8-point
yeah.
difference, just like now.
What do you think is the best version? Like Man City, they've been hot and active
Their
for a
best
while. What do you
version?
think was the best
I think
best
that
team?
treble team.
You think so?
I think that treble team.
I think the team with Aguero, Sane,
That one was
Sterling.
pretty
The
nasty,
Centurions,
too.
the 100-point
But they
team.
weren't- But they weren't like established winners, I would say yet.
But they had
so I think that
company- they
treble
had
team would be
company.
able to trump them.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
dude. I think that 100-point game season, prime Kevin De Bruyne,
It's just
Yeah.
Real Madrid was too good. Man.
they could have ended up getting.
That's what I'm saying, like, because they didn't have that like belief that they
Yeah,
could be
they
like
so-
the best in the world. type
That's
of
why they
team.
couldn't win Champions Leagues.
Right, exactly.
What do you think? What do you think is the best version of Man City across this
This
tenure?
yeah, I was talking
The
the
Aguero-
Aguero.
the Aguero
Yeah,
team.
Aguero,
Centurions
Sanchez,
time, like David
yeah.
Silva, Kevin De Bruyne,
David
Fernandinho.
Silva, David Silva bold.
Yeah,
That was nasty.
dude.
That was scary.
He did get
I
a hair
hated them.
transplant. He did though, but I liked
Cheeky.
him with company back there.
Yeah.
Company nasty.
It was a good
Company.
team.
Kyle Walker's best and Mendy.
Yeah, Benjamin Mendy. He was an
Yeah.
FPL
I
asset back in the
Forgot
day.
about him.
When they
Tell
would
about
spend
Chelsea, by
yeah.
the way.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you guys are good.
We didn't see Pedro Neto this game though.
No, Pedro Neto. He
Mm.
was fighting in a little nibble he got from Portugal. I guess they didn't want to risk
Didn't
it.
he? I thought he did. Had a good game, didn't he, in Portugal?
Yeah, he scored.
Nice.
Yeah.
Him and
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto. He scored. Joao Felix scored 2, I think, during international break. So, yeah, honestly, like
Felix has been found. We've been
he's
searching
arrived.
for him.
But he put a great couple
It
of
looked
performances in the international break.
Yeah.
in the Conference League, too.
And in the
He
Conference
managed to
League.
stand out.
So that's why I think
Sounds like he found his level. Conference League, championship. Dude, he's 26. You know, I figured that out like just a little bit
He's
ago,
young,
scrolling
bro.
through
Like,
Twitter.
he's
No,
only a
he's
couple-
not.
26.
I thought he
He's
was like
young.
24.
Nah, dude, he's 26. He's a year
Wow.
younger than Rashford.
He's getting to that point where like he has experience and he knows.
Dude, there's no way. He's
Bro, what
26.
experience does he have?
He's 24. Look it up.
Bro, Lawa, you have to go look at what he's done for Atleti, bro.
Bro, he had one good season, and
But
then after that, he got
you're just-
binned by
you're-
Simeone.
You're literally just thinking of like stats.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not thinking
Yes,
about stats.
bro. If you watch Joao Felix play, you'll be like, "Holy crap, that
not
guy's
good
a
enough.
great
knows he
player."
Can't hang it in the Prem.
Wow.
Cannot
It's okay.
hang it in
It's
the
okay.
Prem.
It's okay.
He had a
bro.
great
It's okay.
game.
He used to
Yeah,
say
I
this
guess a
about-
championship level side.
He used to say about this about Nico Jackson, bro. It's okay. Let's go. Let's go. Hoyland.
Jackson
Hoyland.
had a great game.
Hoyland, bro. It's okay.
Jackson had a great game. Enzo, what a game he
Enzo, man of the match. Divorce Enzo, best Enzo.
had. Divorce Enzo.
He has six assists and 1 goal in the last 5 games for
Wow,
club and country.
great.
And that includes whatever against No FC, but he had 3 assists in 21 minutes 1 game. Went
Last
to
couple
Argentina, came in as a sub, got an assist. Now starts for Chelsea, goal and an assist.
I feel like he's been playing great for
He's been
the
playing
last
great.
3 games for Chelsea. He's been
He looks mad. He looks angry. Like he's seeing
like he wants to prove people wrong. I love it. That's honestly like there's a couple of players in Chelsea that I'm loving that from. Caicedo, Cuckoo, Jackson, Enzo. Those are the type of mentalities I need, man. Like people, Neto too. Yeah, he's just new, you know. So like I know he's gonna mess ish up, but yeah, Enzo, man, freaking beast. Just active all fronts. And I'm just happy for him. He had the most ground duels won, 9, most chances created, clearances, and interceptions.
Wow.
So,
where was Caicedo?
So what was he doing?
So that's one thing that they were talking about. Like, he was moving like Caicedo, but actually doing what Enzo
the progressive
does
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a really good.
Didn't see a lot of Cole Palmer this game.
No, so it was interesting. So what happened was he kind of switched with Enzo, which is why Enzo was like in that cam position.
Really?
Yeah, so Palmer was kind of playing next to Caicedo for a lot of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was picking up the ball. Yep, he was picking up the ball, kind of being creative that way.
I wonder how many touches he got in that game.
He had a good creative game, Cole Palmer.
Madueke still kind of blocked his goal.
I know. Blocked his goal, didn't score one for Jackson.
From that cross.
We can talk about that. What do you think about...
But every week we come back talking about Chelsea, you talk about Madueke, how... Props to him staying in that lineup.
Right?
No kidding, though, for real.
Didn't he had a decent game. I'll be honest. He had a better game than the last couple.
It showed like Leicester City not being. They don't have like that level of
talent, or quality or
intensity even on defensively.
They look like a championship team.
They're also going through an injury crisis right now.
They are.
No Vardy, no Facundo.
I thought Vardy was
there. No Bobby Reed. No,
Vardy was there against Chelsea.
They have this, I think he's from Ghana. His name is Fatwo.
Yeah,
his last name is difficult to pronounce. He's really, really good. And I heard recently that he got an ACL injury. We played Leicester the game before. He played and he was
that was their left winger, right?
He was pretty nasty. He was a very dynamic player. And I was upset to see that he's injured.
Yeah, they're out back right now, man. Like literally their actual forward line is gone.
But then the word came out today they sacked Steve Cooper. He hasn't even been in a job.
Really?
Like what? How many months in the season? Yeah, he got sacked.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate because man, you didn't even give the guy the opportunity to turn things around.
He turned up for the big games, I would say. So it's like they haven't done well, and
their
again,
squad
they got hit with an injury crisis right now.
That center back, what is his name? Feist. Oh my God, he is a calamitous center back.
Ever since they lost like Fofana, Madison, Tielemans, they haven't been the same.
Yeah,
the only player I give props to from Leicester is Ndidi. He had the choice to leave. He was like, I'm taking the challenge to stay here.
Yeah.
And then
he should have gotten sent off that game, so we can talk about that. I don't know if you guys saw that challenge.
The
one on Palmer, and then right after that, another of their players goes and does Joao Felix. Those were both red card worthy fouls. And I'm shook that the referee, whatever plays going and you give like advantage, but how do you not
come back?
How do you not punish that? Like, how do you not punish both of those? We saw it against United.
Man.
We go against United, right? And that's a red card worthy challenge. And that guy was already on a yellow card. And then this happens, and it's pretty much the same thing. Ill intent, not trying to really play the ball. You're just going for Palmer. And then right after that, you're mad you got slide tackles. So you go with ill intention to tackle Joao Felix. And he goes studs up, hits his ankle, and that's why Joao Felix is jumping. Like I said, if he plants his foot, that ankle is probably gone, man. Like literally, like he came that hard and he was super late.
Smart from Joao Felix to raising his foot.
Yeah, and I think honestly that player doesn't get the red card because they say Joao Felix like made a meal out of it or whatever. But that's bullcrap. If I'm a player and that happens to me, I'm going crazy. Like you just try to take out my leg, bro. Like that's my job, you know. And it's like I don't know. There's not enough protection. Yeah,
they pick and choose what to go back to. Because I remember talking about Liverpool. Last season, they were so harsh on us. There was one game where McAllister got a red against... I remember. And that was for the studs up, supposedly. Right. It's like, what is that?
Or the Curtis Jones salad,
What is... You guys are just picking and choosing what to go back to.
You have to see, the only solution for that is you set precedent.
Yeah.
All right? Exactly. So, like, if this is the decision, this is what we're going to communicate to the refereeing association, is the threshold.
Right.
But, it shows to, like, some games, even, like... minute 30 seconds pass by, they go back to that challenge to go look at the VAR.
It's inconsistent. Everybody has their own interpretation of the rules.
Every game is a different set of how they used to apply
because
the rules.
That challenge from Ndidi on Felix, if it was I don't know.
If that's a Chelsea player
That's
doing
a-
that to Ndidi, we get a red card.
I think like that's a play you should go back and look
Yeah,
to the
bro.
challenge.
And they did, and they said no.
Yeah, I don't
So it's
think,
just, I don't know. And actually, Enzo Maresca goes and defends Ndidi on the press conference. That kind of annoys me because he knows him.
His
So he
ex
was
lad,
like,
yeah.
He was like, I know Ndidi. I know he doesn't have like ill intent in any like an ounce
He's
of
just
fat
an
on his
aggressive
body
CDM.
and all this and that. And I'm like, bro, he literally went to get Joao Felix.
I think
He
he's
probably
seen
doesn't
that.
rate Joao Felix himself. He was like,
just
nah, this
the
guy.
natural player he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just naturally aggressive. And
Man, he was good,
Yeah,
dude.
but you
I have
gotta
no
get
idea why
punished
he
for
didn't
those- for
leave.
those-
Yeah, he did. He wanted to stay with Leicester.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can respect that. Leicester City are a legend of a team. Like, if anything, they're bigger than Spurs.
Slide dig.
So let's talk. I want to talk on. Let me do a quick shout out Kuku and Caicedo because I think they've been our best players this season.
Most
consistently,
consistent, yeah.
8 out of 10 minimum every game. So just quick shout out, beast.
Yeah, Cucurella did well down the flank.
He did.
Yeah.
Got to the
He was
byline a few
getting up.
times.
Yeah, he was getting
They
up
caught
this time.
offside. I think you guys scored
Yeah.
a goal with him putting a delivery in the box, and it was just
that
barely
was a really
offside.
good goal.
No, it was quality,
So-
and it looked like something straight from the training ground. So
That gets me thinking. It was weird this game because I was criticizing Maresca for not being versatile enough in the lineup and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And this time, he was versatile in it. He said since Leicester City know how he plays better than anybody else,
Yeah.
he decided to go with something different.
Right.
And that was instead of the left back inverting, he was going to make him overlap. And so that paid off. You
Yeah.
know?
So who was your other fullback? Was it
Fofana.
Fofana.
Yeah.
What happened to Reece James? Is
So
he?
Reece James, that's
Injury.
another talking
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Wow,
That's
injured
stressful.
again.
Yep.
Yeah, injured again.
Wow.
Unknown return date, hamstring issue again. So, dude, I was talking about this with Pablo.
So tough, man.
I think we have to sell Reece James because if you're going to be, I don't care how good of a player you are. If you can't be available, then there's no point.
The best
And he's-
ability is
he's one of the
availability.
best- he's one of the highest paid on
He
the team.
is, and he's a captain. What is he like a?
Yeah, he's a
co-captain?
captain. Yeah, he's one of the captains. Like, if he's playing, he's captaining the team.
Wow, this about something about those injuries is out of their control.
I know, dude. It
And
breaks,
this
like, in
time-
a sense, it breaks my
Yeah,
heart.
he took a long time to recover. Like it seems like he built himself up to come back and be ready to
establish himself, yeah.
play. Like he took the time
Yeah.
to recover.
And he had a good,
And
like,
he
4 or
took-
5
I feel like
game
he
cameo.
took it seriously, and he took.
Yeah.
This was the longest he took from hamstring injuries, and he came back.
He tried to
looked sharp.
transform his body and everything.
Yeah,
And
it's
the thing
kinda
is, I
sucks.
think
Sad.
at,
It's sad.
at
It
some
really-
point when you suffer a major injury and then you get rushed back, you're always going to be fighting for lost time.
Right.
And all the niggling injuries are going to be
There, in
yeah.
a sense. They're going to show up here, like, at one point, they're going to be there.
Yeah, they're just going to keep popping back
Yeah,
up. You didn't
exactly.
properly recover right the first
Exactly.
time,
It's like a
so you're
weak
always
ankle.
it's going to be susceptible to injury and
Yeah.
muscle fatigue later
Yeah.
on.
It's, like,
But he's
honestly,
been
it's
dealing
sad.
with the same issue.
Always,
sad.
it's
The same-
always his
it's the exact
hamstring, and the
same.
hamstring is one of the like major components in terms
Yeah.
of repetitive
Muscle.
Dude, you
injuries.
see it, man. Like, it's so annoying.
His
Like,
quality is undeniable.
His quality is
Undeniable.
But, like, it's like him extending his leg for challenges. You can literally, like...
He doesn't
figure
trust
out
his own
when-
body.
When he's going to get injured.
It's unfortunate.
It's really sad.
It's
and
really
at this point,
unfortunate.
like...
Another
Again.
player that deals with that is, we all know Kevin De Bruyne. He has a hamstring injury as
Right.
well.
Yeah, he's
He has
made of
hamstring
glass.
issues. So
Hudson-Odoi was like that,
yes.
too.
So those type of injuries, they're unpredictable,
They take out, like, your explosiveness.
and then it's
and
out of your
ability
control.
to stretch.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So
They're
it's out of
moving
your
different.
control.
Yeah, and it's just
kind of
sad
sad
to see.
seeing.
I
Reece
really, like,
James
as a Chelsea fan,
suffering from it.
Reece James is one of those players that I respect, like, 120%
Yeah, we
through
would love
everything
to
he's
see
done.
him. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and
We
yeah,
love to see
exactly.
And, you know,
He's
there's a lot
not
of times
hated,
when
you
it
know?
comes to injuries. You, for example, you recovered from a major
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
The mental aspect of the injury and how you come back in your return is a huge,
It's
huge factor.
huge.
Like you see him right afterwards, he's going on social media,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I apologize. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I
Yeah.
did all that I could, but I'm injured again, unfortunately.
Go
and I
again.
really appreciate everybody. Like that messes with your
It
headspace.
does. It does.
You
it
play
takes a
differently.
lot. It takes a lot
I mean,
from
you
a
start.
person.
I think I would personally like start
Yeah.
questioning. You know, like should I be playing still? You know, like
That's
straight up.
wild.
Because I mean, you've probably made a good amount of money. You know, you have experience in the field in general to probably find
He's
other
still young,
other
man.
jobs.
It's 24.
I know, but it's
You know,
just, it's
that's-
just like, do you want to wear your body out that much?
I think if he takes his time, actually, like like more than 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, he was out all last season.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
That also hurts.
It takes a lot from a player
to come back,
to go back to phase one in rehab, into rehab, and then going all over again, recovering.
You're learning how to play the game again,
and then like at that point. You do that again and again, and it's like at this point, what am I doing wrong?
It becomes your career.
You know what I mean?
This is like Van Ginkel. He was supposed to be one of the best midfielders, you know. And how many years was I like, this is the year Van Ginkel's gonna?
Van Ginkel is such a random player,
you know. And that became his career. Like just every year he would maybe play 1 or 2 games, and then he was recovering the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and that became his career.
And
I mean, so sad.
Luke Shaw is another one that you could put. Luke Shaw had an insane double leg break.
But now, so he has like 200 plus 50 games in his arsenal, probably. Like, you know,
I think it's like 150 actually.
Okay, but
yeah,
like,
Bruno's coming up close to the amount of games Luke Shaw has had. He's played since 2014.
But Reece James has maybe 90 games. He has like 3 seasons with Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's just so sad.
I just feel for him because going
he's
back
playing,
to phase
he's the
one
best
again.
in the world, like, you know, if he's on top of his game, literally the only person who debates that is Arnold.
Yeah, and I feel like he in terms of like ability going forward and playing defense, I think at one point of his career he did surpass Trent. And there was a lot of rumors of, not even rumors, a lot of people were shouting like, "Oh, Reece James is a way better player than Trent. He's more well-rounded. He can play up top. He can be attacking.
He can do both,
and be good defensively, right?"
It was the Trent versus
Reece versus Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. Stop.
Wan-Bissaka
has been great though
for West Ham. I'll miss Man. Yeah, miss him. It's quality.
They've been playing bad West Ham, but Wan-Bissaka has been one of their best players, I think.
And he thrives under defensive stress. But Reece James was a good variation between the two. You know, Arnold's super attacking nature.
Because it takes a lot of mental strength coming back from the same injury and going back to phase one with your rehab coach or whoever you have. All right, we're starting all over again. It's like, what are you gonna do different this time? You know what I mean? What are you gonna do different this time?
It's like revenge recovery.
Like you're not trusting the process anymore, but it takes a lot of mental strength.
It's like revenge recovery. The first time it happened, you didn't put the right amount of time towards your recovery. You rushed yourself. You know, I get it. I understand. Like you're raring to go.
You think it was the rushing part?
That's
has to be because it has to be because you didn't take proper care.
I think at one point or another, like, you as an athlete, like, you can feel it, right? Like, if you can't stretch your leg out right, how you used to, like, that's a big sign of, like, that muscle is not going to be the same again, period. Like, it doesn't matter, and it's prone to get hurt. It's like an ankle. It doesn't matter how much you try to heal it. If you step on it wrong one given day, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, and with muscle injuries, they way unpredictable because other like ankles and knees, you gotta take like you gotta make a wrong step.
Yeah, you have to totally break it.
Or somebody is like contact, you know.
Yeah.
But with the hamstring, it's like every burst of sprint, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Any movement, you can.
You know what I mean?
Mess it up.
From a manager's perspective, you have the player side. Where they're doing their personal rehab, they have somebody that's there with them. They build a close relationship with them.
Right.
And then it's like, now you're back. I need you. You got to play.
Yeah.
But you have to be smart about how you manage their time in training.
Right.
If you are an injury-prone player, if you're coming back from a major injury, maybe you don't stay for 100% of the session. You're there to absorb the content and the understanding of what needs to be done from a profession standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to give that person less load.
You don't think it's like a player's choice too? It's like a player like Reece James, let's say the caliber he has, the where he stands at the club at Chelsea, right? Don't you think like the coaches and somebody like the staff, like even being a coach, is like this guy?
You're under pressure to play him.
Yeah, he's part of our team, and sometimes players like Reece James, they have the choice. Coach, I'm ready. I want to play.
I get it. Yeah.
You know, it's like sometimes the coaches just like they know this player and what he is. He's part of the club. He's their boyhood superstar, whatever.
Yeah.
So like. Sometimes the players have the options, the choice to
the power
exactly, and the coach is just like he's just ready to put him in.
If it's anybody's club at the moment, right? It's Reece James's
and
club.
He does pick the moments for him because I don't think it's smart from any coach to just like bring getting a player back, especially a player important like Reece James, and throwing him in the deep end right away against Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure Reece James wanted to throw himself in there.
Yeah.
Of course, you're raring to go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to play. I haven't played. I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
This is the thing that they like. Sometimes we overrate how much footballers actually love playing. From our perspective, we're fans. Like, oh, if I had that job, I'd go 100%. Some of these players genuinely fall out of love with their game. Gareth Bale is the biggest
every day
example.
they do the same thing. Right?
It becomes a job. You're getting paid for it.
Especially when you're getting injured like Reece James.
Yeah.
At that point, he's like...
Then you got guys like Reece James that they're raring to go, represent their boyhood club. And like you said, nobody knows that football club in and out more than Reece James. He himself is a fan, and he knows what the standard is to play for Chelsea Football Club. And him not being on the field, him not having that imprint on the dressing room, him not being the guy that can rope everybody in. Right? So you understand the personality and the character of your club. It hurts the team on top of that.
It hurts, man.
It's hard dynamic, and it's just difficult. I really do feel for him.
Yeah, even from a Chelsea standpoint, it's like, this is our player. It's like they're looking at it let's say like Rashford, Man United. That's it's kind of like marketing
similar
in a way.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
Our best product.
Club.
Our best product is not on the field and performing.
Yeah.
Because when you think about Chelsea, Reece James is in the back of your head because he's one of the faces on that team that's been there, and then he's one of like the highlights. The main.
He's like our John
players.
Terry, in a
so,
sense, and we haven't had that. Like we talked about it. Chelsea has gotten it wrong in terms of how they have brought up their youth. And Reece James is a successful example.
Big success story.
He's an inspiration to the other youth. He should be doing that. And he was a big reason why we won the Champions League. He was a big reason why we gathered up that top four when Lampard first came in.
And it's not just a miss for Chelsea as it is as well for England. Because England,
right?
You touched on it, his positional versatility.
Yeah,
he's a right back, a right wing back, a center back. He can even play center mid in an inverted role or like flat out lined up as a center mid. His qualities, his versatility make him a top player.
He's honestly like Real Madrid caliber.
Absolutely, when he plays. And the thing is, he just does not play. Exactly. It's a difficult thing.
And it's sad, but as a Chelsea fan,
More power to him.
I'm debating, with my friend, whether it's time to sell him or not. And like just talking about him now, the only thing I can think about Reece James is that he has done so much for the club that we can't turn our backs on him now.
It would be. I think your fans would never accept that.
Yeah, and
exactly.
The thing is,
and where does he go, and how much would you look to?
Right, there comes a point where it can become sour, right? Like
I'm like that with Rashford.
Look how you're feeling with Luke Shaw.
Right. I'm done with Luke Shaw. I'm way past that.
Right. And so I hope it doesn't get to something like that, right? With Reece James, he loves the club. It's his club, and I wish him the best. Like I hope he has a good recovery.
What kind of fee would you be looking for him?
Honestly, with injury prone, I'd probably give you like 40-50 minimum.
How long is his contract?
Minimum.
How long of a contract does he have?
I don't know right now.
I
don't know.
True.
Honestly.
Especially just thinking about it.
Such a risk for another team.
But if you get the good of him,
he has muscle.
Bro,
I think it's a part of it though.
He can body anybody off the ball.
Like physically, he's pretty in good shape. He has muscle. He's stocky.
I think that's a part of it though. Like him and his physique is detrimental in terms of his athleticism to a sense.
Yeah, genetics play a big part.
Genetics as well, of course, but like
look at his family; they're all like that.
Yeah, you're not as a football player. You're not told by the top class professionals to go into the gym. Right. Like you're not a bodybuilder at the end of the day.
No,
So I don't know if that's as much genetics as it is down to his own personal.
He's definitely like naturally stocky.
Big time.
I don't know how much he's hit the gym. He probably did. He probably was like, I'm gonna be strong.
Operations on that muscle, or he just waits for?
Yeah,
he did.
He's had a couple surgeries.
Yeah, so that's tough.
It's tough, man. To get away from that subject, just because it's a little depressing. No, yeah, I think decent game. I do want to touch on how trash Sanchez has been.
Sanchez or Sancho?
Sanchez. Sancho actually came in minute 82 and looked like he was having fun. Had a couple nutmegs.
He's been the time he played for Chelsea. He's shown a lot of promise.
He's had fun. He's having fun.
Where did they go, those performances? So the next game they just forget about it and he's
he had a good cameo, like 4 or 5 games, got 3 assists, and then he got sick. Is what they said.
He was playing Call of Duty. That's what he was doing.
And he joined training like the last week before international break ended.
This guy.
I wonder if it was on time. I wonder if he shows up to training on time.
I feel like this guy just shows up whenever he feels like.
It's embarrassing. Genuinely embarrassing.
But still,
He's
the
gonna
talent
he's
he
gonna
has,
show out though. You know one thing I love that all these Chelsea players get to hate because right now, right, like how does it feel to say like you didn't trust Jackson or like you thought he was trash?
I think Jackson only looks good because the quality of striker in the Premier League has gone down. But okay.
What does that even mean?
The quality of nines in the Premier League have went down.
Because he's outperforming all the other strikers.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
The other strikers aren't performing.
Wow. I'm telling you, 1 + 1 = 2. You know, you have to give
No, he's
it to
good.
him.
He's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying the quality of nines has gone down in the Premier League. You
Right,
can't-
because
you
Haaland's
can't
going
take
to
it.
just break the goal scoring record.
So that's Haaland. Who else you got?
We got
Come
Darwin
on, bro,
Núñez.
but you have,
What do you
have
got?
the best striker ever, probably.
have
Tell me
Darwin
who else you
Núñez, we have
got.
Solanke.
Darwin Núñez, a criminal underperformer XG.
Okay, but still, we have great strikers in the Premier League.
Who?
We have Isak, Solanke.
Isak's good, injury prone.
No, he's not. He's
Yeah,
literally
he is.
the only player that scores for Newcastle.
He's consistently injured.
But he's consistently playing for
He
Newcastle.
can't put 30 games into the
Watkins,
season.
you got Tony.
We got Ivan Tony left.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Wisa's a pretty good striker.
Wisa's a good-
We're talking about
Mbeumo,
Wisa, bro.
Chris
Mbeumo
Wood.
even.
We're talking about Chris Wood,
But we
bro.
have quality strikers.
But those
in the
are
Prem-
all
We're
decent
comparing him
strikers.
to the strikers we have now. Why are
Yeah.
you going back and comparing?
Cause, bro.
Because the
it's
quality's
cause,
down.
He's just
bro.
looking for a stat.
The
to pick up
Cause,
his-
bro.
It's not stats. The quality
You're
of
just
nines,
looking
bro.
for something.
You
to bring
can't
the-
deny
So
me
why
that
isn't
the
Wood
quality of
able to do
nines.
what Nico Jackson does?
Exactly.
Because he's not
he's
performing.
trash.
He's not
He's not
trash.
good.
He's trash.
He's not good.
Okay.
I love how like for the players that he's trying to make look bad. He just looks for a stat
Yeah,
to make them
It's not
look
even.
bad.
I didn't mention a stat. I
Not
never
a
said
stat,
anything about a
but
stat.
Just like an agenda.
There's the quality of nines in the Premier League have consistently declined across the time.
He's thrown into that.
I never said he's a bad player. Did I say he's a bad player? I said the quality of nines have gone down, so now we think he's better than he might be. Is he a Champions League level striker? I don't
What
think
is that?
so.
No, we don't think he's better than he might be. He's better than what you thought he was. That's the point.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's not about like he doesn't look as good or whatever. He looks good.
Yeah,
Period.
He looks good.
You know, like that's the thing. You know.
What's that dude from Bournemouth? He's pretty good.
Evan Nielsen.
Evan
You
Nielsen.
like him a lot. Yeah, you like him a lot.
Bro, there's a good. We just mentioned like 10 strikers. That are
Cunha.
actually
Dude, these
pretty
guys
good.
are trash. I'm
They're
talking
not
about Luis
trash.
Saha's playing in in like the relegation battles and scoring 20 goals in the Premier League.
What is
Okay.
that?
What do you mean? What
Who
is that?
Luis Saha,
Go look
bro?
up his highlights and
He's-
you will learn a
bro,
thing or
what
two
is
maybe
that?
about
You're
how strikers are supposed to be built.
Oh my god,
Bro, get out of here.
Well,
the quality of strikers
He's
nowhere
trying to-
near what it
he's
used
trying
to
say
be.
it's not there 'cause of
But
Luis
we
Saha.
talk
That's his
about back in the day,
comparison. Come
Premier
on.
League was all about having big number nines, just toss the ball to
Yeah.
them.
Luis Saha wasn't just that.
You know
Luis
what I
Saha
mean?
had pace,
We've
power,
had
ability to
great
keep the
strikers
ball, hold
in
it
the
up.
back. Like let's say, for instance, like a profile like Jermaine Defoe. You know,
What a freaking player
You know,
Jermaine Defoe
at the
is.
time with Spurs as prime years.
Yeah.
Like you think he's better than
He would bang in today's game.
You
Are you
think- that's what I'm
serious?
saying
He would
is-
be scoring 20 goals consistently, season in,
Really?
season out.
So the
Underrated striker, Jermaine Defoe.
I mean, I know, but I'm saying like in today's game, like, do you have any players that you can compare to him in a way, or no?
Jermaine Defoe.
That's what you're saying the quality has dropped. Like,
Yeah.
he was a quality striker back then.
Right.
In the Premier League, like I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody really
We-
with that kind of quality,
The
that
only-
profile.
Yeah,
really.
the only player I can think of is Jota, but like Jota's way
Good,
more
good profile. Yeah.
because Jermaine Defoe wasn't that big striker. He was a small dude, you know.
Yeah.
Small striker. He was just good in the box, good at
he was
finishing.
just killer. Yeah, he would finish.
I
His
think you're
finishing
right.
was
We don't
crazy.
have those qualities. A striker that can dribble in the box, score one like.
Bro, it's
We don't
because
have that
everybody
anymore.
low blocks now, though. That's
Yeah,
why you
it's
don't have
all
room
about the wingers
You don't
now.
have room to dribble. Like a striker does not have the chance to dribble in a game.
Yeah,
Like that's only happening in like low league.
And realistically,
low
like that's
leagues.
across all of Europe. Like, there's not, you can't look at the best players in the world, and a lot of them aren't strikers like they used to be.
most of the strikers in the Prem now.
There's
are
been
just
some good strikers in
target
the past
man.
year or two.
Yeah, I feel like the Premier League just look for
But
target.
look at
Yeah.
the quality that we used to have. Fernando Torres, Radamel Falcao, Zlatan Ibrahimovic,
that was
all
all-
playing in one
that-
era.
Yeah,
You know, nowadays you have, who are your established strikers in world football? Erling Haaland, Robert Lewandowski,
Harry
Martinez.
Kane.
Harry Kane,
Those are all.
Lautaro
Those are all
Martinez.
probably like
Quality.
the best.
No, quality though. But like, you had so much more during that time.
Yeah.
Cavani.
I think it's coming back though. I really do think it's coming back.
I think if anything, you mentioned it, low blocks. You need players that are poachers,
Yeah.
guys that are good in the air, that can outmuscle somebody.
I think you're getting it. That's my point. You know, like Chris Wood, Isak, like these are all like not insane
Isak's-
players,
I
but they're
feel
good
like
players.
Isak's top.
He's
Yeah,
top.
they're
Very
top.
good.
Well-rounded.
Even Joao Pedro.
Joao
you know,
Joao
he's
Pedro's a good
top,
player.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's a
these
good
are all-
comparison to Jermaine Defoe.
We have like a lot of.
I think he's way more techie. Joao
Way
Pedro.
more techie. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
way more techie as well.
But
Underrated player though.
Jota
Jermaine
is-
Defoe never gets his credit.
I like Jota as a striker a lot, honestly. What he brings to the table as a striker is immaculate.
Injury prone.
to be honest.
Doesn't play enough.
Yeah, like he drops. He can play as a false nine, and when he dribbles, he's really risky. Like
Yeah.
he's really dangerous with the ball when he dribbles.
And he keeps it
manipulates-
tidy. Like he's not overturning
Yeah.
the ball
It's
in
like-
tight spaces.
You can trust him in the middle to give him the ball and turn,
Yeah.
and then just take off and
Yeah.
manipulate the defenders. You don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty quality striker. I think he has a lot of good qualities. He's not just a one-dimensional striker, I would say.
He's
Where-
good at headers, and he's not a
Yeah,
big guy.
He's like 5'9", 5'10".
You're talking about Joao Pedro.
But when you
right?
talk about
Diego Jota.
no,
Oh,
Diego
okay,
Jota,
okay,
like
okay.
he's like he's versatile. He's dynamic.
Yeah.
Like he can.
he can almost play wing too.
Oh, yeah,
for
sure.
He's
Hardworking. He
he's-
presses. He's aggressive.
More than one thing that he can do.
That's and then we look at the other strikers in the Premier League. It seems like a lot of them are just one dimensional.
Right,
Like
Holland.
Holland.
You know,
yeah.
you know who is the guy that I think changed how players develop and are promoted with regards to strikers? I think it was David Villa.
Okay.
I think David Villa coming in,
Yeah.
doing what he did, inspired more guys like Sergio Aguero, for example. You know, not
Right.
your traditional 9 big guy up front,
Yeah.
stocky
small
build.
nines.
Yeah, that quick,
round him
nimble
off
guy
and
can
foul.
play. These guys they weren't prevalent in the 90s and the
Yeah.
mid 2000s, but ever since David Villa, I think people took a different look
Yeah.
and started going for the more pacey option, the guy that
Right.
can play.
Yeah, free flowing almost.
Yeah, and by the way, I love David Villa.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Villa is
Monster.
nobody
Nobody hates.
He doesn't. Yeah, you can't hate on David Villa. He does not get the level of credit with regards to that amazing Barcelona team
Yeah.
and that
Guys-
Spain team.
Have you guys seen that story about him and Fernando Torres when they lost to Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dude, they're class.
I love
man.
David Villa,
David
dude.
Villa, you can't hate on him.
I wanted to grow this thing out just because
yeah,
of David Villa.
literally me. Literally, when I would make my player in FIFA,
Yeah.
that's the first thing that I would do. Him and David
Amazing.
Villa.
Dude.
The only player I can think of that's been better than him at what he does, probably like the way he plays, like dribbling in the box. You know, it's probably Suarez, which he's probably had a little bit more dribbling.
A little bit more of a ruthless goal scorer. I would say
but
Suarez.
he's really underrated for his dribbling too. You know.
Oh
He
yeah, no, his dribbling is fantastic.
His dribbling
Yeah.
was crazy for a striker. Like I'll
Right.
give him a 5-star skiller.
Yeah,
To be honest,
probably.
the technicality.
He would nutmeg people for days
Yeah, and
back
then
in the day.
his close dribbling was great. That's something David Villa was good at. You know?
There's some goals that Suarez has scored.
Yeah.
Do you know the one where it's like a beamed in ball over the top and he
Yeah.
like does a la croquette that just get around the goalkeeper and then finishes it?
Yeah, he was
Ridiculous. I
nasty.
hate that
Yeah,
guy.
we miss those strikers, but I see a little bit in Isak. I see it a little bit.
Isak's
in him,
quality.
Yeah.
where with the close dribbling, manipulating.
Who else do you
defense
think
side
are
of the
those other, maybe those strikers that haven't been picked up by those big teams? You got your Gyökeres's, your Isaks,
Yeah.
your Victor Osimhen's. I mean, personally, like I think we're gonna go in for a striker. I one of the Victors is who I'm gonna be going for.
But when you
Gyökeres or Osimhen, you know.
those types of strikers, you have those prototypes at your club, like Zersky and Højlund. They're the same type of player.
I
as
get
them.
it, but
Yeah.
they're not doing
I
the
feel like
business.
Man United need
Zersky's
a
whack.
more of a well-rounded striker.
They're just those guys aren't doing the business, and they'll have the time till the end of the season, and you'll see it. But I don't know. Yeah, you're young and you need time. I get it, but this is Manchester United Football Club, and you
You
don't have
guys need
time to
somebody
develop.
like
That
Sanchez.
Xerxes signing was pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it's always going to take time for somebody to acclimatize in the league, but he has not.
But if
showed
Nico
it for me.
Jackson was in that same position, he would be absolute flop, trash, all this stuff. Okay, well, anyways, to get back to Nico Jackson, right? You notice we were talking about him. We talked about all the best strikers. Okay, anyways,
why do
so
we have to go there?
so Chelsea, Leicester City, right? Away win, 3 points after an international break, early kickoff. Easily could have been a banana peel, but I'm happy sitting third, 1 point away from City, and they play Liverpool next week. So I'm happy that where we're at, and yeah, I'm excited for.
Shout out
for
to
what's
Maresca,
next.
man, putting that team back together. Honestly.
Yes, sir. We're moving. Real quick, we want to touch up on Arsenal versus Nottingham because it was a good game. Some interesting talking points.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was 3-0. Of course, Arsenal at the Emirates beat Nottingham 3-0. Early goal, and then they just kind of looked like never really letting off. Midfielders rocked it, Partey and Jorginho. And
I think the guy,
Odegaard.
yeah, that's the one.
Right,
The thing,
Odegaard.
I feel like Nottingham Forest, they've been an absolutely amazing team, and
Yeah.
for Arsenal to beat them 3-0, that
Yup.
did give us a little bit of answers.
Right.
I think the fashion
you
in which
see
they
that
did
and you're
it.
like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
The fashion in which they did it is
Right.
because we've been
They did it
talking a lot.
comfortably.
Yeah,
And not
and
enforced-
with quality too.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying, oh, Tony Pulis ball and whatnot, but
Right.
today they showed out, and
Yeah.
it's Martin Odegaard that's
Yeah.
running the show.
Saka.
You think about the
No
little
Declan
intricate
Rice.
touch.
No Declan
Is he
Declan
Rice.
injured by the way, or what's
Michael-
going on?
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
He has a toe injury.
He had a broken
That's
toe.
right, yeah,
Wanted
yeah.
to
He
play
played
against
it.
Chelsea.
Didn't he play against Chelsea with
Wanted
a
to play
broken
against
toe?
Chelsea.
But still, they had Michael Moreno,
Good player.
Jorginho, and Odegaard in the midfield. Weird midfield.
I like seeing Jorginho.
I feel like Michael Moreno was just thrown in there. I don't see anything productive from him.
he's-
No, I think he's really good.
He's good, but like I don't see any.
He's better at like game managing almost.
Beautifully said.
And
Yeah.
also like taking advantage of the counters and when they're taking off. Like he's really good about getting the ball to
You
the
won't see
person
him make
that
a
should
mistake
be.
in possession.
Yeah.
And he is relatively progressive,
He's-
and he can win a challenge.
That's why low key like him and Jorginho makes a lot of sense. Like that's looking nasty. You'll control the heck out of that game.
We look at Arsenal. They have a lot of options in
Right,
the midfield.
so that's one of the things that I thought was good from Arteta.
I like that.
this week because we were criticizing him not being versatile.
Started a different lineup up top. Never seen
Yeah,
this
exactly.
season. We
Yeah.
saw
Jesus,
Trossard.
midfield as well.
Saka.
Like you said, moving timber around everywhere.
Yeah, moving. That's kind of good though.
It
seeing
is.
Tim-
It is.
He's really
glad
good.
for
I like
Timber.
Timber.
He's
I'm gonna
really
be honest.
good. I like,
He is.
especially coming off that injury. You know he's coming back from ACL, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
big
that's
one
right.
too.
Yeah, so he's coming. Like he got signed last season. He only got to play one game.
ACL
He got
injury.
injured. And Calafiori back in the lineup too.
Calafiori
Right.
Didn't
back in the
accept it.
lineup. They had a good game, man. And I mean, I don't know if he's doing it because like December's coming up, right? And like this is the last week where it's one match a week. Or if he just thought that he needed to rotate, you know, in terms of like his team, keeping it fresh and kind of resetting, you know, after the international break.
I thought they
Letting
looked
go
good
of
with
all that negative.
Jesus up top. By
mentality.
the way,
They did look
They
good,
haven't
Jesus.
played him
They've been
extensively. that
spamming
position.
Havertz up top.
Yeah, and
Right.
I don't know what it is because
Yeah.
what do
This
we?
is trash, bro.
No, I get it. Yeah, but again, I think he's a little bit better. Like all the things we think Kai Havertz is good at, besides the aerial presence
That's
and whatnot. Jesus has it. In
Jesus
my
is
opinion.
way better playing link up play than Havertz.
Yeah, and he's
way
elite
better.
at it. I'll
Yeah,
give him
and-
that.
But
He's not
he-
a great striker, but yeah.
But he does that kind of without end product.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
where
the thing.
Kai Havertz can do it and give you an end product.
I don't like Kai
It's not
Havertz's
enough.
link up play. I don't think he has link up play in his.
I think it's overrated,
Arsenal.
but it's weird. Kai Havertz is such a weird player, dude.
He is a weird
He
Yeah.
can
so
be
weird.
really good when he does the good stuff. He looks really good.
Yeah.
But then when he messes up on opportunities that should be taken away,
Yeah,
he looks really bad.
he looks really bad.
And we judge him off for that.
I just think like Jesus he doesn't really do much besides cause like chaos. You know,
But that's
it maybe help like a free flowing thing.
If you're a center back, you hate to play against a
Yeah.
player like Gabriel
what-
Jesus.
yeah, that's what
Gabriel
people
Jesus,
say.
his dribbling ability is amazing.
It's really
he
good.
can move
It
the
is.
ball. He's controlled the
He
ball.
causes mayhem, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he causes
he
chaos.
can manipulate defenders pretty well.
Yeah.
He has that little bit of that fake shot to the right, fake shot to the left type of player. you
Yeah.
know? Like what Saka does sometimes, but he does it in the middle, which is even harder to do. As
That Saka finish, by the way, shades of
finish.
Iron Robin. Wow, and the touch from
God.
Odegaard is
We were-
everything for
we
me.
were talking about it.
Beautiful.
Like, how do you have so much space? Like, just letting that shot
It's
off?
all in the brilliance in Odegaard, in my opinion. How he releases the ball at the very, very last second,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh wait, no, actually, I got to take this guy.
and
Now
you're
you're
stuck in
tripping
that,
up. Yeah,
Saka just walked in the line, and it was so close of hitting the dude's shin.
and for him to
Yeah.
hit it across goal,
Across
bro, you got credit.
That's my
I'll
favorite
give it to
way
you.
to score goals in FIFA.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Beautiful.
Across goal, facing away, and then shooting.
Hey, you don't play FIFA
Aubameyang-
anymore ever since.
Aubameyang.
Why don't you play
Yo,
FIFA
stop,
anymore?
bro. That game's rigged. Bro. Pay to play.
FIFA's not. It's not even called FIFA.
Check
It's
the
not even called
record.
FIFA anymore.
FC.
At this
It's not
table,
even
I'm the only one left. I'm
We're
the
all
king.
clocked
Watch me
out,
reign.
man.
Born
We're all
over my
retired.
domain. Hung up the boots.
But shout out to Saka, man. Putting up for Arsenal week in week out.
Carrying them, man.
Uh,
Goal and an assist.
They don't. It's like Arsenal. They don't have another promising player that can put on for them, except
Odegaard's the
sometimes.
one.
I know,
Cody,
but
yep.
when they needed the most, Trossard shows up. I don't know why. You know?
Yeah, he's
he's a
clutch.
weird player.
He was
Yeah.
quiet today. Besides that one decent
Yeah.
effort he had, that Sells, who by the way has quietly gone underrated as one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Sells, their
Yeah.
goalkeeper, older goalkeeper too. So it's pretty impressive how
He's
he's
been impressive this season for sure.
Yeah.
Played amazing against Liverpool for that 1-0 win at Anfield. He was a big part of that win. That
Absolutely.
9-4's
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
Overall, Nottingham has been really good this year. I'm
This-
happy to take that third spot
Right.
from them, though.
But Arsenal though, they show us these type of games where we believe in like, wait, Arsenal should be they're competing for the title.
Right, like, are they... yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They show us if this Arsenal stays like the way they played today,
I think they can kick
they
on.
can be dangerous, but they don't keep that consistency.
I think
The
they'll
thing is,
overtake City.
The thing is, like our good friend Jir said, they're 1 or 2 injuries away from completely...
Right, that's
falling
true,
from that.
but still, I feel like even with injuries, they can still be dangerous.
They
I
have
don't
that
think so.
pragmatism to them.
I don't think so. They know how to be hard to to beat, you know. But it seemed like they also know how to score. Okay, so it's like they have good stuff. Like, it's not to say that they're trash, but I just don't think, like, for example, the good City teams, right? It didn't matter in terms of injuries. Now we're seeing it with Rodri,
Right.
you know. But like those teams didn't care. Even with Liverpool, you guys had like 8 injuries of like your back line at one point,
Right.
and you guys were still performing. You know,
That
so
was
I just
tough.
think you saw Arsenal without Saka and Odegaard, and they completely changed their style.
They couldn't do
Imagine
anything.
if they lost like Saka or Odegaard, one of them, and then lost.
Those
the
are the big
defender,
ones,
and then
though.
lost the center back. You know, of course.
Those are the big ones because what we were saying is they just don't have that X factor
But that's
without those
are
guys.
the only.
That's
are
it.
The guys.
That's it.
Yeah,
You
those
show
are
you
the
have.
guys. So you lose
Literally,
one of those guys, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
The show is always Odegaard and
Yeah,
Saka.
and Saka, yeah.
And then without Odegaard, Saka's not there.
No, yeah.
You
He
know what I
can
mean?
maybe make one thing happen.
That's crazy.
But even
Those
that is asking.
those two, they're
Hold it
pretty
together.
lethal together.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna leapfrog City. I think their difficult period in the season is kind of at an end.
At an end.
And I think they're gonna push on probably for second place and maybe challenge for you guys. I think City's comfortably
Gonna keep dropping.
maybe.
Maybe.
It's looking
You
bad.
know,
I wouldn't.
It's a perfect opportunity next week to play Liverpool and put in a good game.
That's
and
what I'm
completely
scared of.
reset.
You know, I feel like they're gonna come out against Liverpool. And
No
then
goals conceded.
They're gonna put on a hell of a performance.
City?
1-0.
City?
1-0 City.
I promise.
They
it's
can
gonna-
do
it's
it,
gonna-
and
I can see it
I've
happening.
been thinking about it. I've been thinking about
I
it all day. I'm like, ever since I saw that you guys are playing next week, I was like, that's.
I
perfect
can't
for
see it,
Pep.
bro.
I
Like
was
with that
is
lineup that they
perfect.
put out this weekend, if
You guys
it's
are
anything
really
like that,
good. That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
a Liverpool team
Yeah.
devours that City team.
Yes,
kills
but-
that City
but
team.
But it's-
there's already that rivalry.
The tension
there.
is different.
Exactly,
those games.
Exactly.
You know.
Like you said before. What's it called? Form kind of goes out the window. You know. So it's like.
It's just, dude, that
if they
team
can
is
st-
not
But if they can step
athleticism.
up, that would be huge.
They got De
If they
Bruyne
can
back.
step up, that
I think the thing that'll
if he can
fuel them,
start,
the thing that'll
it's gonna
fuel
be
them
great
is not
game.
losing a 6th game on the bounce.
Right.
So
they're-
if I see Pep Guardiola come out like super pragmatic, I will be shook.
Yeah.
Because that's not what Pep does.
I'll walking away with a draw would be great for me.
Anfield or Etihad?
I'm pretty sure it's
I
at
think you guys should
Anfield.
beat him, man.
You have to beat them.
You should beat him.
Because City, they just played at home.
You have
and
to
then
beat them.
We played away,
They just
so it's gonna be at
lost
Anfield.
4-0.
You have to beat them.
Against
I would love
Spurs.
to get away with the 2-1, but I can't see City losing
You
again.
guys can't
Sixth
concede.
game in
If
a
you guys
row.
don't concede, you'll win that game. You
Yeah,
can't
but
concede.
I feel like that's what Slot's gonna do. He's gonna play that ball
Safe.
retention game,
Uh-huh.
and they both play that game. So,
I wouldn't
and
advise
it'll go
that.
to the
I'd give them the
detriment.
ball.
you know,
You
that's
give
what
them
I mean.
I'd give them the ball because I can kill them in transition.
Yeah.
I can absolutely rinse and destroy them in transition.
excited
With
for
that
this
Liverpool
game.
team,
Yeah.
I'm excited to
for
see.
this game.
I don't know who's gonna play in the midfield, but I'm excited.
yeah.
McAllister has to play.
McAllister, Gravenberg.
You guys
have
also
to
play a weak Real
It just
Madrid team.
depends.
Real
Curtis or
Madrid.
Salah.
But Real Madrid just got back in form though. They're
Yeah,
kinda
they're,
scary.
they're putting it together. They're putting it together.
Mbappe scoring, Vini's on one.
That should be a really good game.
I'm kind of scared of Madrid.
Next week's episode should be a
tough.
fun one.
It's
Should be
gonna be a tough
interesting.
Next
game.
episode should be a fun one.
That's really tough. You're literally playing the best teams in the world back
That's
to
good.
back.
That's good in a sense.
City
bro.
and Real Madrid back to back.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a
That's
hectic.
good.
That's a hectic.
That keeps
picture.
you. That keeps you sharp, man. And those, trust me, those Liverpool players are excited.
We're all excited to see. This is
Yeah.
gonna show us what this Liverpool team are really made out of.
Yeah.
We're literally
We
these are
keep saying that though.
these
you
are
know?
finals. We're gonna
Yeah,
watch. We're gonna
yeah.
watch finals
Yeah.
basically. So
But we keep saying that
Pretty
about
interesting.
Liverpool, and you guys keep doing the job, man.
yeah,
Like I said, how you guys. The thing is, how you like comparing to City, how you look when you concede. Oh my god!
look, we bounced back.
You literally look scary.
Resilience.
Like you look like I'm gonna go. You're either in the way or you get out the way.
Right, and they seem to get around it every time.
Yeah.
Except that game against Nottingham Forest. I don't
Yeah.
know that game. Just I keep questioning it because
Like,
Not
what
again.
happened?
Yeah.
There's always one game at least where like a team decides to play their best freaking game ever.
I'll maintain it. I think that was a blessing in disguise. It really alleviated your pressure of,
Like
we can't lose.
Argentina effect almost.
Yeah, then it's like, oh no, Liverpool's not going to be the quality. And then, just underestimated.
Keep going. Yep.
I'm loving it, honestly.
Nobody anticipated it. Nobody did. Everybody's like, oh, this is Arsenal or City that's going to fight for that Premier League title. He's going to need time.
Having the best defensive record in the league as well, it's a pretty good place to be at.
If I was you guys, I'd go in strength and still.
You can tell that, like, for example, when Kelleher conceded that penalty or that rebound off the penalty, like, he got pissed. You can tell that, like, conceding or not conceding.
They barely scored that. It was between his legs after the rebound went between his legs.
He
it deflected off his knee and went.
I would pay $35 mil for him. I would pay $35 mil for him any day. So just to kind of wrap up, Liverpool standing with 31 points, top of the table after game week 12. Next closest is City with 23 points. Chelsea right below, 22 points. And then Arsenal with same everything except we have more goals, 4. But we have the same goal difference and everything, so that's the only reason we're up top. Brighton 5th, 22. Spurs 19-6, and then I guess I'll mention.
You got to scroll.
And then I guess I'll mention United at 12.
They climbed up too.
16 points.
Amiron's aura before the game allowed us to climb 1 point in the table.
Hey,
they're getting honestly, in that top 10 combo.
You're 3 points away from 6, right? So it's not
bad.
Crap. It's 6 from.
That's a good looking top 4. That's a really good looking top 4.
Yeah.
Liverpool, City.
I think a really good.
But I mean, the thing is, the teams in between is Brighton, Spurs, Nottingham, Villa.
I'll be honest. Maybe it's me
those
being.
Are all good teams.
Maybe it's me being biased and giddy about my own team, but I think we can push for top 5 this season, and that might be enough for Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the main.
We got to hit a strong run of form.
The main team you have to de-trump, honestly, is probably Spurs, because it doesn't seem like your Villa or Newcastle are gonna kill it. Brighton's doing decent, but I see them dropping off at one point, and then Tottenham is bound to bottle. So
yeah, should be an interesting period. The not the international break, but the Christmas period.
Yeah, Christmas period.
You're gonna be watching a lot of games.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We have a lot more content coming up. And just thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you are liking, sharing, commenting, and for sure subscribing. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and just tell us your thoughts on these games.
Thank you guys for watching. Always tuning in with us.
Yep.
For the people that have been asking for another episode, sorry about we didn't drop an episode last week because of the international break, but we're back on, and we have a lot of content ahead of us, so it should be exciting for December.
We're coming strong. Stay tuned on the half turn.
On the half turn, baby. We'll see you next time.
Peace.